Hey guys, how about I actually like lift the thingy on my camera so that you can all see me? Oh, hello. Hello, it is me. It is a dungeon master. How we all doing today? How is everybody? Everyone looks good. You're all centered. And hopefully you can hear us because I had a damn update again on OBS and I went checked all my settings just to make sure. So you should be able to hear everything. But I hope everyone's doing great on this Saturday. It's been it's been a pretty explosive and bang up weekend for D&D for me already, just from last night's game. So I'm hoping to continue that with this one because where we left off last game was a bit explosive. You know, people were running around tripping balls and high on some hallucinogenic spores from these weird plants called lanternweed. But you know, I don't know. This weekend is shaping up already to be awesome. So we have hopefully we have some good things in store today. So I hope everyone is doing great out there. I'm doing awesome today, and I hope my cast is doing well as well. Let's see, what else do we have? Do we have anything going on? Do I have any announcements?
You should announce your brother's use game auction tomorrow.
Why? Who's gonna go to that?
What?
Yeah, my brother is technically, I guess, my only actual sponsor right now. And he owns a game store up in Derry, New Hampshire, called Midgard Hobbies and Games. He's doing a used game auction tomorrow from, what was it, 11 to 4?
Yes.
11 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's actually really cool. If you're local and you're looking for board games, you need to go to it because it's a blind auction. It's kind of almost like a trade. People are like, all right, I've played this board game enough, and they just put it out there, and you know, people that put their board games up there go looking and buying other board games. So it's really like almost like a board game swap for money. So it's actually a really good idea. He does it multiple times during the year, and I think this year he had the most lots put in. So there's going to be a shitload of board games. So if you're looking for board games and you're looking for them cheap, that's the place to be.
Or if you want minifigures or paint or just to hang out, like it's just an amazing store to go to.
That is also
Like
true.
if you're like,
That sounds
where
like a
can
lot
I
of fun,
get-"
honestly. I'm like
It's
jealous.
amazing. I love it in there.
If you're a war gamer, he's a war gamer. If you need minis for D&D, if you're RPG books, he sells Gunpla, and he sells all of the paint supplies you need to model and build terrain and all that stuff. He is literally a one-stop shop for that, and he has a wall of dice. Literally has a wall of dice.
I've got a great variety of minis. All of my really cool dragons came from there.
Yep.
I make the drive to go down there.
Yep. So, and if you happen to be there tomorrow, you'd actually run into me. So I will actually be there. I think that's it. So let's set the stage. The characters are currently stuck on an island called the Isle of Tyrants, while the crew of the ship that they have been traveling on affects repairs to the ship, specifically the keel, which is the spine at the bottom of the hull, which was cracked. So they're currently in the process of repairing that, and that's going to take multiple days to finish. During that time, they encountered a local, as it were, I guess you could call her. I guess after like 15 or so years, you're considered a local. Who had a whole bunch of interesting friends. And I suggest if you'd like to meet the crew of that ship called the Sea Gallop, you watch the previous VODs. Currently up on YouTube. It's an interesting introduction. And with her now helping them, they ended up encountering a beholder. This is not a normal beholder. This is Bob the beholder. Yes, there is some tongue in that cheek there on purpose. But Bob the beholder is not evil. Bob, as you may or may not know, beholders are created by one beholder actually dreaming up another beholder, and that beholder becomes reality. Well, it's pretty much a nightmare for that beholder, and I had to consider what would be one of the worst nightmares for a beholder. A good beholder. And who knows, it may not have been the first, but he's one of the first to survive. And he is actually a benevolent and generous beholder who then petitioned the group for some help. He, in order to not create more of his kind as an evil creature, he has found a way to suppress his ability to dream using a thing called lanternweed. But lanternweed is a psychotropic drug. So treated, he can use it to suppress dreams once he actually goes and hits it with alchemy. But if he gets hit with the spores, things like that, it can cause him to have basically waking dreams, which means he could accidentally like sneeze out another beholder. So it's dangerous for him, and he tends to only do it as rarely as he needs to. So in this case, since this group won't actually accidentally create more beholders, he asks them to help him. And in turn, he would pay them and help them. So they are out currently gathering this lanternweed, which tends to grow near very hot portions of the island. So anywhere that there are superheated gas vents or lava flows, because the southern tip of this island is a volcano, you'll find this lanternweed. But the spores themselves can cause a reaction, which last game it did in 3 of our characters. Firstly, we had Illyria, who basically had a meet and greet and a little bit of a family reunion with her crew. For the time being, they were real. They were there, and she ran around talking to them, having great conversations with them, and hugging them. Granted, to everyone else around her seeing this, she was hugging trees, talking to plants, and having a grand old time. Somebody else who didn't have such a grand old time was Elithia, who kind of, well, she had a bit of a reaction to a potential memory. See, Elithia has suffered a head injury, and her memories are currently missing. So she's currently running off of instinct alone. Well, these foggy memories came back in this form of psychotropic visions, and she found herself in an adversarial position against a devil of some kind. So she went about the business of having an argument with this devil, and up to and including swinging her weapon at nothing. And lastly, our dear Edie, who was flying above this area, watching this all happen, got hit with it last because she was in the air. But thanks to a blast from a superheated gas vent, kicked up a bunch of these spores near her, and she too had a reaction. And boy, what a reaction. She fell from the sky behind this steaming wall of steam and had feral dreams, I guess you could say. Her perception of the world around her just drastically changed. And when we ended last game, the rest of the group witnessed, or rather those who were of sound mind, which I think was technically Cardia. Technically, yes. Because the player wasn't there. So the player wasn't there. So technically, Cardia, Azalea, and Charlotte. That was it. And they basically witnessed this large tiger as the steam wall waned and began to subside through the mist. This huge tiger leaped out of them. So that's where we are going to pick it up. We're going to pick it up from the perception of Charlotte and Azalea first. As you're standing there, you're witnessing these strange occurrences. You know, you were warned that this could happen. It's not like you were unaware that, these things, that the properties of this plant could cause these effects. So you're not surprised that these reactions are happening. Granted, the way it's manifesting is obviously and clearly a surprise, because you never know what the hell somebody's going to do in a kind of an acid trip. But through all this, as you're watching, you hear this feral roar as this tiger comes leaping out behind the wall of steam, landing less than 10 feet away from the two of you. I'm going to give you two the first reaction to this.
I guess first, can I make some type of check to see if, because obviously I understand as a player, but to see if Charlotte understands what's just kind of happened.
Yeah, so that would be a. So I don't know that you would necessarily know that this was a case of lycanthropy until you were able to actually assess, hey, there's a tiger here, but Edie's gone. Because you can't see her yet or where she fell. But, I mean, it would be a nature check at this point just to realize that, well, give me a nature check.
Okay. No.
What did you end up with?
I could roll. I think I've got a D4. I've got a D4 as well, so I'll roll that. Great start to the day.
It's just a plain old tiger to you.
And there's no ED features present that I can see.
None.
Okay.
She is not in her hybrid form.
And just for full kind of getting the full picture, Alithia and Illyria are both kind of still spaced out.
Yes. So Illyria kind of wandered off into the jungle a ways. I mean, not far, but that's where her friends are. That's where the crew is. So she's all the trees. She's hugging the trees. Okay. And Illyria is by the lava flow, fighting nothing.
Okay, well, considering all that, if this thing's coming towards Charlotte and Azalea, Charlotte will step in front of Azalea to put space between Azalea and this tiger.
Mm-hmm.
And she will pull out her Feliothanle and just... I don't know who you are or where you've come from. We're not looking for a fight. And with her overhand, she's full on Chris Pratt right now.
If you're doing that, give me an animal handling check. You're technically trying to handle an animal.
That's pretty good considering I've only got a +1, so 14.
Yeah. And yeah,
I can roll. I've got a D4 for that as well. Sorry to use all these study D4s. But
wait, where did you get animal handling?
Animal handling was second exam.
Oh, that's right, because that was the owl bear.
Yes, and I rolled a 3, so that takes it up to a 17.
Okay.
Nice.
Azalea.
Yeah.
How are you reacting to this tiger just kind of coming out of nowhere?
Azalea's taken it back, and the only time Azalea's ever really seen a tiger is like when it's strapped to a boat or it's like against its will being marketed.
Being transported, yeah.
Yeah, and traded. So to see something like this in the wild, Azalea's nervous and also almost what's the word I'm looking for? Like in almost like a trance, staring at this
Mystified?
thing. Mystified is a great way to put it, yeah. I think she would definitely have her like dagger of warning and like kind of see if it's like if she's getting anything on it and
Give me
itchy.
Hannah, give me a straight up wisdom check. Please.
Got it. Alrighty. Is it still mine or is it the
It is yours.
were tiger?
It is
Okay,
yours.
cool. So many windows open. Right up, wisdom. 12.
So your dagger of warning is giving you mixed signals. You can hear that because when it tries to warn you, it gives you that kind of tinnitus sound, as I described previously. It gives you that, the thing that you really can't ignore. Well, it's coming on and off.
Yeah.
It's like there, and then all of a sudden it's not, and then it comes back. So your dagger is having a hard time reading whatever danger is around.
Yeah. I think knowing that Azalea would repeat that message to Charlotte. I mean, assuming Charlotte's like still within.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
within,
she's
like,
probably just like
range.
5 feet. Yeah, she's just 5 feet.
Yeah. Azalea would really relay that. Sort of like, Charlotte, I don't know if we're actually in danger, or if we just need to be a little careful right now. And tell her about the dagger of warning.
Okay. She just nods and acknowledges it, but she's still in full protector mode. Like,
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
How did I get on with that 17? Any?
We'll get to that. Okay. Edie.
Yes.
Give me. I'm going to give you this. Give me an intelligence saving throw, but I'm going to give it to you at advantage.
All right, intelligence save. I got 19 on the die, 23.
Good. So at first, your instincts, these new feelings, these new sensations that you are currently experiencing, are at war with your reason. And you're kind of struggling with the idea of what you're seeing in front of you as potential prey. And no, that doesn't make sense. But you can see the individual, which you're actually having a hard time recognizing at the moment, is presenting themselves in such a way as it's disarming, as they're showing that they are not a threat to you. Hence the handle animal roll. So that helps you tip the scales in favor of reason. And you start to snap out of it. Do you want to talk to them or anything?
Am I still, like, in my head, right? I'm still, like, more
animal.
feral animal
Yes.
than anything. And
But you
especially if I
now
don't
have access to your
recognize.
faculties. You
Okay.
know, it's
So
starting
I'm
to
like
come
going
clear.
back to being like, that's fucked up. Okay. I don't think I say anything. Sorry, hold on.
Emergency services are en route.
Fire.
You got 5-star wanted level, hun.
Okay, I gotta be quiet for just like a few more seconds. Maybe that'll go down. So I don't think that she says anything. I think that if
You are
it
detecting that
isn't
Charlotte is afraid of you.
yeah, I think that is kind of what is right. So for Edie, she sort of expected that at some point, just as who she is. So I think it'll be not that she'll say anything, it'll probably be if it's not like super painful in my body to do so, if I feel like I can still move freely, I'll probably like pace, like do the little figure 8 by the edge
You
and just
don't
sort of
know that
like
you're a tiger.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, what
Yeah.
if it doesn't hurt like it normally does? If it does, if it's not like, if it's not triggering a bunch of shit from my own stuff. If it does, if it's not, if it feels like I can still move, I will, and just stand there and sort of pace and be like,
Okay. So yeah, you're pacing.
just watch.
Okay. The tiger starts pacing back and forth.
Charlotte's kind of looking at it, but talking to us earlier, and says, "Okay, that's a start. At least it hasn't attacked us.
Yeah.
I'm looking around, and I can't see Edie or Illyria, so I'm gonna call for them. Edie, Illyria, could do you right about now?" And then she'd fixate back on the tiger.
So Illyria and yeah, you called for Edie as well.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
you know, so Illyria and Alithia, give me intelligence saving throws.
Dirty 20 and 12.
Okay. So it doesn't happen at the same time, but yeah, you both ended up passing. Just barely. Well, dirty 20. Yeah, you're fine. But you hear the voice of Charlotte. You're still kind of in that hellscape scenario. You're staring out at this, what I had previously described, like demonic beings flying in the air, fighting, combat. But all of a sudden, the fiend that you had been dealing with is just in a blink gone, and you are brought back to the island, and you can, the steam wall that had erupted is now like just kind of like a trickle. What is your passive perception, Veerle?
14.
Beyond the wall, you see a pile of what looks like shredded cloth and adventuring gear.
That's weird. We'll go over to it.
You examine it. Just give me no, I'm not going to make you make a roll. You recognize the clothes. They are wrecked. They are shreds of cloth, but they definitely belong to Edie.
Okay.
It looks like a
It did?
beast tore through them.
Okay. Do I see a beast around?
Give me a perception check.
22.
Yeah, you turn because where you are, you would still be inside of it. You can see Charlotte standing between Azalea and this tiger that is currently pacing back and forth in front of them.
I wouldn't know it was Edie.
No, you wouldn't.
I have something cool if you'll let me do it.
Nah. We you know how this goes. We don't let you do cool things. Like setting you up to do your like cool finishing move in a way that nobody will ever see or hear, like underwater.
Yo, that was so fucking cool though. Oh,
Yeah, no one's seen that.
That was funny at the end. You're like, you did this
It-
whole thing, and then you're like, oh, but nobody saw it or heard it. Like, yeah, that's about right.
Okay. Oh god, do I attack? Yeah, sure, I'll attack. If I can reach it, I will attack. Edie. I don't know who she is.
So before you do that,
Okay.
we're gonna go back over to Illyria. Illyria, it takes you just a moment or two longer to come out of your stupor, but you hear Charlotte's voice, which sounds like kind of like in that half waking, half dreaming state. Like, just about when you're waking up, that's where you usually experience the most vivid dreams that you can remember. You kind of hear Charlotte calling out in some kind of, in earnest. And you kind of snap to, and you're standing there hugging, like you have your arms wrapped around just this long drape of thick vines. And the crew that you had just previously been interacting with and having a reunion with is nowhere to be seen. You are surrounded by trees and sounds of the jungle envelop you once again. But you hear the tiger roar.
I hear tiger. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking of how Illyria would react to this. And one moment she's having tea and hugging her crewmates that she's missed so long, and the next moment, reality comes crashing down that it was just the plant, and I think she's gonna have like a horrified look on her face when she just realizes, and she's not gonna. I don't think she's gonna follow the sound of the tiger roar. I think she's just gonna be just very like, I think like dejected. I feel like I'm not getting the word right. Just like apathetic to everything. Just like fall to her knees and just like stare at Wilson, holding the skull in her hands. Just like, yeah.
Harsh.
I don't think she's gonna follow. Yeah.
That's fine. Veerle. So
Can I make a check to see if I see Veerle? See Alithia.
yeah, we want cool stuff first.
you don't need to have a check. She's, she wasn't too far from the tiger where all this happened. She was just a little further down the lava flow.
Okay. Then Charlotte will move her hands like out in front of her towards Edie Tiger and kind of move it over towards Alithia, just to say, I've got this under control type of thing. And then, also she thinks, and then she's gonna still focused on the tiger, but again talking to Azalea. It's very obvious that she's talking to yours, and she says, "Right, follow my lead. You can come in at the second verse. You'll know the lines. It's just the same. And let's try this." And she starts singing. Oh, and while she does this, she's going to minor illusion catnip around Edie while she does this, and she sings, "Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur, happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, Right now, you come in, Oz. You come in.
Okay. Sleepy kitty, purr kitty,
Kitty, little ball
go
of
kill the
fur.
fur.
Happy kitty,
Yep,
sleepy kitty, purr,
purr,
purr.
purr, purr.
So I'm gonna so Ilithia, you're like charging in to attack this tiger. But I'm gonna say you kind of stop short when you see because you had a ways to a distance to cover before you got there, and they would have seen you coming in hot. You yourself are disarmed and a bit confused because of what you just saw. All of a sudden, Charlotte and Azalea begin singing to this cat, and I do need both of you to give me an intelligence saving throw on this catnip because it suddenly appeared.
Who's this?
You cast an illusion, but you cast it right in front of them. So all of a sudden, catnip appeared in front of the kitty.
Yeah.
Which is a trigger that says that would give them the opportunity. Like, wait, is this real?
Oh, I thought you meant me and Oz. I was like, okay.
No, not you two. No.
Okay.
Veerle and Hannah.
All right. Especially if I have my faculties, I'll probably just be like,
What
the
is the
fuck?
DC on your save for that?
Me?
Mhm.
That's a 14.
Okay, that is your difficulty.
What was I rolling against? Sorry.
It's an intelligence saving throw against illusions.
6.
Okay. While you may not actually, I mean, it's up to you how you want to react to it, but yeah, catnip just kind of grows out of the ground in front of the cat. What about you're muted.
Sorry, my dog's been a pain in the ass. I got a 19 on the die, so that's gonna be
Yeah.
for a save at 23.
Yeah,
so.
the plant in front of you is bullshit. Once you save, you know what it is. It just becomes kind of like augmented reality.
Yeah, I'll just sort of
How about that performance check, though?
Oh, did you want to do a performance check? Go ahead.
yes.
With advantage because
Well,
of the help.
only if they are both trained in performance. Can you
Oh,
render the aid
okay.
action?
Okay.
You got
Wait,
performance?
I'm proficient. I got a
No, are you serious?
Then
Yes.
yes, they get advantage.
I will roll.
Okay.
17.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So you pull off the song. I don't know. It's up to obviously Hannah. How does Tiger Edie react to this song and fake catnip?
Right. So here's my question. I don't know I'm a tiger. I have access to my faculties. I still think I'm myself.
Yes.
What's going on with me internally?
And you are fairly
Okay.
tall enough as a tiger so that you don't realize that there's any height
Okay.
difference. You are
Okay.
a large tiger. Large
right.
for a tiger, yes.
This shit'll go on, and this will be the moment that Edie's like, "What the? What? Okay, hold on. Something's going on now. I'm not. What?
Do you vocalize that? Is this like do you pull off like an inner monologue thing and
That's internally because she's expected people to be afraid of her. She's mentally prepared herself that this will happen at some point. So she's just kind of standing there hoping to be like, they'll get their shit together eventually. And then the catnip and the song, and at that point, Edie absolutely would just stop and like she would go to cross her arms and like just sort of look at them and then be like, "What are you doing?"
Holy shit, it's speaking Oz.
no. No. It doesn't speak. It doesn't say words.
That would have been so good.
It sounds like a tiger vocalizing. It's like, so you get that.
Okay.
So the tiger kind of like sits back, and that's when Edie, you realize, like, you go to cross your arms across your chest, as you said, and they don't quite move the way your other arms normally do. And you clearly didn't say words. And that's when you look down and you can see that your hands aren't hands. They're rather large. Well, describe your tiger, by the way, because I realized
Okay.
that you have been
So-
recently influenced by Miss Kayla.
Yeah. She knows what she did. So the tiger that you see before you has sort of that has that same coloring of Edie's hair, and that like sort of like ashy gray, white, pearlescent. And he when we got to this island, you guys noticed like some of the weird like stripy staining that she had on her skin, like under her vest and stuff already. And that just sort of like expanded and wrapped around her, and you can see probably following the shape, you can see what looks like there's like a cluster of stripes that look like long fingers over by like her left haunch, like up here. And then people that have been with Edie enough would probably recognize like the lines of the pine cone in the stripes like up her chest and up her face. But it's very much that same like pale coloring, and the eyes are also that same like ozone spark blue. But yeah, so she'll sit there and then she'll realize that she's a thing, and then you guys would probably hear the tiger equivalent of cursing somebody's name.
Like this?
Of just that's it. She's just mumbling to herself.
Have you stopped pacing? You said you just like sit down. You like if you sat down.
Yeah, I sat once you guys started singing. I was like, what? And so I sat. I'm at least sitting and looking at you. But now I'm like.
Okay. I think that worked. I think that's good.
Now you
You muted Kaylin? Sorry.
now you're Veerle, you're Alithia is confused as hell. This tiger just sat back up on its haunches, crossed its front paws across its chest, and started mewling.
Also might have murdered Edie.
Mhm.
Don't know.
What did you say, Kaylin, when you were muted?
I said I replied back to Charlotte and said, "Do you think it's trying to tell us something?"
I don't know, but I'm glad it's not attacking us.
Yeah, it seemed to have calmed down. Okay.
Let's fill Alithia in on what
Yeah.
happened. As you can see, we've got a little bit of a situation here. Have you seen Illyria and Edie anywhere?
I haven't seen Edie, but I've found her stuff. Stuff is all kept up.
Oh my god. This tiger ate Edie.
That's what I thought.
Valeria,
no
what is
way.
your passive perception?
Hey. How do you wait? How do I see?
It would be on the left side of your character sheet, about midway down.
Oh, thank you. 16. Oh
Okay.
wait. Yeah, 16.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can hear this conversation going on. It clearly, now that you're paying attention to it, it is clearly people talking to a tiger. and it sounds like the tiger is communicating back, and you snap out of it just to hear the time is like, I haven't seen Edie, but her stuff is over there, and you hear Charlotte go, oh no, this tiger ate Edie.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, she hears that little conversation, and she's having this moment of just remembering that all her friends are dead, and that she has some friends left, and that a tiger just ate one of them. And so she is very much what you would call, I don't know, triggered. She is not okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she is going to start gunning it towards this tiger because it just ate one of her friends, from what she just heard.
Okay. So you start, you're not making any effort to be sneaky. So something is
No.
crashing through the underbrush at a rapid pace in your direction from the perception of the rest of you. And sure enough, you can see brandishing this large black-bladed scythe, whose runes on the haft of the scythe are now glowing light green. As she's making a beeline, and she comes crashing through like a spider monkey. She's like, leaps out of the woods and starts making a beeline across the barren rock towards the tiger.
I go back to a feral animal so quickly, especially at the site of the scythe as well.
Mm-hmm. So your instincts definitely kick in, but this time you don't lose sight of your you don't lose control of your faculties. You are now consciously doing it. You are like actively embracing the natural side, your bestial side by doing this. Although subconsciously and instinctually, you do realize like, oh shit, I can do this. So yeah, you take a posture of defense,
If
I guess.
she's running, is she running at me or is she running at Charlotte and Azalea?
She's running at you.
In my head, she's past. Okay.
She's running
well,
at
if she's
you.
running at me, I'll meet her.
Okay.
'Cause I do not trust this bitch.
Can I
So,
I know I just made a dumb conclusion with Charlotte, but she does have a passive investigation of 16 and she's pretty smart. So like given how this tiger's reacted and given like the close situation, I don't think it'd be too far-fetched for her to like put 2 and 2 together at this point, and maybe she's not dead. Maybe this has turned into ED.
Mm-hmm.
How would you say?
Yeah, I'll give you an Arcana check with advantage.
Okay.
if you go through her things, Edie didn't tell you about the
A
icon
natural
that she found.
20.
Oh fuck yeah! But it's still in her bag on her.
Natural 20. Yes, you're pretty positive you are looking at a transformed Edie. And you actually have some idea of how or why.
I clock this, see them both running towards each other. Can I misty step in between?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And then I just want to be like, wait, this is Edie. I know it doesn't look like her, but the tiger did not eat Edie. Edie transformed into the tiger. And now, if you give me a second to prove it, that would be great. But Edie, you probably don't know this, but you are not yourself right now. And I know a lot of psychedelic stuff's just happened. And I could be crazy myself, but this is what I believe. So let's just take a moment to breathe and calm down.
Am I gonna believe that?
I pull to a stop. I don't know what you do, but if Charlotte's in between us, I absolutely stop.
You can give me an insight check. That'll
Because yeah, I don't know Charlotte well enough. Like I want to believe her, of course, but she didn't really give me any reason other than trust me.
Right, but you're now with an insight check. You're also dealing with body language, and inflection, things like that. So
and the tiger did stop. Oh,
right.
I only got that.
So
Oh, yeah,
just get,
14.
yeah,
You
give
would
me a,
notice that I'm taking up a position that is like I'm gonna flank Charlotte to the side as well. Like I'm not. The thing about it is you. It's not Charlotte. And if Charlotte wasn't here, we would have gone for it.
Okay. And I got a
you said
14.
you
So I
got
think
14?
yeah.
14 because
Yeah.
Charlotte, you're not trying to be deceptive, right?
No.
Yeah. Then yes, Charlotte, at the very least, Charlotte believes what she is saying and is being sincere in what she is saying.
Yeah, so Illyria is gonna stop and kind of just have this sort of shocked look on her face and just go back to like, I don't even know what's real anymore, and just kind of take a few steps back and just sit down and just like take a moment to just take a moment.
Well, you can
'Cause-
see that Illyria is not okay at the moment.
Charlotte would look to Alithia and just say, do you mind? And she would gesture over to Illyria just to.
I'll walk over to Illyria and just sit down next to her and just. Are you all right?
Am I all right?
Yes.
No, I'm not all right. All my friends are dead. And there's the tiger that maybe just ate my friend. But it is my friend. And I almost just killed my friend.
If it helps,
I
I
just need a moment.
also tried to attack her. So, you know.
That helps. It wasn't just me.
You want a hug?
No touching.
No touching. Althea will just stand up and just awkwardly stand.
Okay. All right.
What? Yeah. While that's going on, Charlotte's kind of spun around and focused on ED, and he's hoping Ozela is going to help. And just like,
Mhm.
right, if you are ED, I'm gathering that you can't speak. So if you can at least hear me, can you nod your head if you believe you're ED? And Hannah's muted. She nods her head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know what's happened,
I don't
I'm-
either.
and I'm pretty certain that you probably don't know what's happened either. So we're just going to relax. No one's going to hurt each other. We're all friends here. I know some crazy shits just went down, but it's okay. And she's just gonna come and kind of with Ozalea, kind of Charlotte's gonna grab one of your like front paws and get us to just kind of grab the other one and just hold you there for a little bit, just to kind of calm you down.
Give
Okay.
me. Give me a wisdom saving throw, Edie.
All right. Wisdom save. Okay. 18.
So, Edie Cat, because that's now what you're called, Edie Cat. Begins to melt. You can see the fur begins to recede, revealing just normal flesh underneath. Let's call them giant toe beans, because that's what people refer to cat fingers as. The giant toe beans begin to elongate into fingers, humanoid fingers. And the feral muzzle of the tiger begins to recede. The eyes almost don't change at all. And they recede and begin to form the features of Edie. But you notice that Edie's actual eyes don't leave cat form at all. They remain very much like a tiger's eyes. Granted, they still have the color that Edie had, but they are now slitted and, look really cool when you shine a light on them. And, but she is completely stark naked. None of her stuff is on her right now.
Oh, that took a second for me to hit.
Can I have my stuff, please?
Right. Charlotte's just like awkwardly looking away.
Yeah, I think
Um,
everyone's doing like the this.
Yeah,
I had to check to make sure, and it literally says nothing shifts with a where creatures transform. So
Yeah.
Alethea, could you you go to where you've seen Edie's clothes and bring them for me, please? They're,
Nuts.
they're a bit
Two
in tatters.
of you,
I can.
two
I
of
can,
you looking at her would
can-
see
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
before it. Nope. All right. Just the two of you looking at her skin, you would see that she absolutely has like a hugely elongated like handprint that like goes starts on her chest and like goes on her finger and like goes over her shoulders, and where the fingers end in the back and like curl around it, as you'd probably notice that it just looks like veins of lightning, and it goes over her whole body and like down her spinal column. You probably can you can see that it like literally and trails down her legs, even you literally covers her whole body.
it's a scar, right?
Yeah.
So you know that it's not
It's
like a
like this-
tattoo, it's a scar.
No, it's like this raised scarred
Mm.
stain, and it is just odd to look at. You recognize the pattern.
Is this what you referred to as spider webbing scar on her chest before?
Yep.
Okay.
I just hand you your tattered clothes.
Before you hand
Yeah,
her
I was
the
going to
clothes,
say you had something to say. Go ahead.
Illyria is just gonna silently walk over and start using mending. It's a cantrip that can repair some tears. The tears that she can. If it's larger than 1 foot, then I can't.
Her gear is intact. It buckles popped and like stuff fell off. and
Okay.
Things like that. Her clothes are unsalvageable. They might as
then
well
never
just
mind.
be ribbons. It's not something
Yeah.
that you would have known. You're like, oh, I can fix. Oh, I can't help you here.
Yeah. She's gonna pick them, look at them, and never mind.
You might
I
be able to cave woman
appreciate
it
the
with some of the
Yeah.
stuff, like kind of cobble it together, and you look kind of like feral in that
Yeah,
regard.
like in a sort of like island, you got to work with what you got way. I think I can turn it into like clothing that maybe is not quite what it was before, but it looks like
Plus,
something.
you also know that you have stuff back at the camp. You have chests
Yes.
of clothing.
Oh
that are
yeah,
washed up.
yeah, chest of clothing. Yeah.
I also have I think I might have something. So I'll take pass me my gear. I'll take a cloak out of my bag, throw it over, and then I'll just pull out like I have shitty adventuring gear, like common clothes. I had like a nice vest and like all black. This is just, looks like like crew clothing. So I've got that and I'll pull it on.
Okay.
What time of
so-
oh, go on.
Oh no, I was just going to say, what the hell was that? I mean, I didn't I can't shift like that. That wasn't it. So I don't know. Go ahead, Charlotte.
I mean, we don't know either. It was all very confusing.
It was all very sudden.
Yes.
Are we gonna get this plants or what?
I do want Illyria. I mean, Alithia. Two of you with their similar sounding names.
Yeah.
You
We're both
gathered her
like-
gear. Where's your passive perception again? You say it was 14?
Mhm.
Give me an active perception check.
That's my dice. Hi. 8.
Oh,
Nice,
Oh.
Jill.
Yeah. I mean, she has a lot of interesting things, but you were more hastily trying to just get her gear back, so you didn't notice anything. But you are all, I mean, Alithia, you haven't let go of that experience. So it's kind of leaving you in a confused state because was it a memory or were you just tripping balls? Because it could easily be explained away. It's both. Like I said,
Yeah,
there
she's-
was some familiarity to that
Just
whole experience.
yeah, she's going for ignore it, and it will eventually go away.
Nothing to see here. It's all good. We're fine. We're fine.
damn.
It's one way to do it. But clearly, you know, Illyria, are you trying to hide the fact that you are not okay?
I don't think she can. I think they already know that she's not okay.
Okay. Then yeah, you could definitely tell that she has been shaken by the experience. That whole realization and of basically you got snapped back to reality and then
Yeah.
put in a position where you almost took out somebody who was real and a potential friend.
From what I gather, what happened there was, Alithia, you tumbled into the weeds and you kicked the spores up into the air. I think they affected all of us, but me, Oz, and Lady were able to refrain from the effects. You three weren't so lucky, so I'm guessing you had an episode of hallucinations, things of that nature. So just, I don't know what those were. I'm not going to ask. That's none of my business. Just be gentle on yourselves, okay? I'm guessing it was a lot. Is the what time of day is it right now? It's getting late, right?
It's I would say it's mid-afternoon, so about 4 bells.
And what time does like sun normally set?
Probably about like
Because it's still in we're still in spring.
yeah, the waning hours start around, I would say, 7.5 bells.
Okay, so we've got a couple of hours before nightfall.
Mhm.
Right. I think it's probably best if we maybe don't continue trekking for the rest of the day. There's a couple of hours to play with before nightfall, but you three are clearly not in the correct frame of mind for that. So your safety comes first. You can maybe find somewhere to set up camp and just.
I'll be fine. We can keep going.
I don't believe that.
Well, I mean, we should at least get the flowers that are here.
Right.
Mm.
You need the seed pods.
Oh.
The lantern of the lantern weed.
Weed, right.
That's what glows on it.
Yes, weed.
Yes. Just I think we got to be a little bit more careful around those next time.
You can, in
Good.
order to collect them, you can give me a survival check. And obviously at least one of you, well, at least 2 of you are proficient in survival.
I think
I
Lady
believe
is.
so.
I am too.
Yes.
So those,
So Lady will give you the help action then.
one of the people, whoever wants to actually roll, can do so with advantage. and I need to
Okay.
know the number of people that are actually going to be participating in the gathering.
Illyria is still, she's focused on her task now, so that she doesn't have to think. So yeah, she's gonna walk over to pick the lantern weed.
And how many people are actually going to be involved with the gathering? All of you?
I think just the people who are proficient. So everyone
think
else
so
Well,
is
too.
kind of.
it matters.
Oh, really?
It matters with the number
Oh.
of seed pods you
Oh.
can collect.
Oh.
I'll help then.
Yeah, no, I think I pull back. That was fucked up.
Yeah, that's valid.
Mhm.
Would I know, like, I know this is always a bit of an ass pull, but would I know, like, kind of what type of check this is to, like, pluck these seeds? Is it like a dexterity thing?
It's a survival
Or
check.
survival check?
Yeah, I
so,
just need to know how many people are actually participating in it to determine how many this check will generate,
Take.
potentially
so you
generate.
you can participate but not roll survival. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I only need one person to make the survival check. Since at least two of you are proficient, you can do so at advantage, just to prevent everyone from, having to make a roll.
Okay. Well, I think Illyria seems pretty set on doing it. So, Charlotte would just say, me and Noise weren't affected by the spores, so we can totally help you and Lady Cardia and ED and Alethea. You
So it
just
looks like 5 of you then.
you just take some time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it shift again? Right?
Yeah.
Shift.
Yeah, it should be shift and then roll, and
Sweet.
it'll pop out too.
Oh, sweet. 25.
Nice.
Nice, very cool. So there was 5 of you, so you will get 5 seed pods, 5 intact seed pods.
Huge.
You know that you're going to need a lot more than that, but it is a good start. And it also means that you're going to have to get closer to the volcano. This you just got lucky with this because it was basically think of it as like a blister, volcanic blister that kind of bubbled up and ruptured, creating an environment where these lantern weed could grow. So you managed to safely gather a bunch of them and wrap them up in cloth to prevent them from like spreading. But now you have an understanding of why the beholder is very leery about going out to gather them, because if the beholder has a reaction and has a waking nightmare, that becomes a reality. So, or has the potential to become a reality. So yeah, the beholder, like as Bob explained, he only goes out so often and tries to gather as much as he can in order to prevent him from having to go out on a regular basis. So he limits the trips as few and far between as he can manage. He definitely has a bit of an advantage in the fact that he can actually float over lava flows. So he can get to the harder to reach stuff, which is a disadvantage for you guys. But when you trip balls, you don't create other horrible and powerful monsters. So that's
Just
a
the ones
trade-off.
internally.
Yeah, it's a trade-off. And well, it's Robert. See King Charles out there. His name is Robert, but he very cheekily explained that his friends can call him Bob, and then bobbed up and down in the air. Because, I wanted to make Bob the Beholder. That's why.
You did, and he was great.
So we have Bob the Beholder. And so at this point, what are you planning on doing? Are you going to continue on? Those of you who did trip balls, you're feeling a bit not fully fatigued, but you have that, that post adrenaline spike come down where you feel physically exhausted. Not to the point where I'm going to actually give you a level of exhaustion, though.
But almost.
If you trip balls again, though,
Yeah.
Forget
We'll be
about it.
kissing it,
like
but not at the
today,
moment.
like without taking a little bit of a break, maybe having a sandwich or two, yeah, then maybe. But I'm not going to hit you with it right now.
All right, we've got the lantern weed. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just worried about you three, and we haven't got much daylight hours left, so we could make use of that and make camp now while we have the light, and then we can press on tomorrow.
Do we want to have camp right here, or do we want to, walk up for an hour? I don't. That is
Right, we
up
could-
to.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
mean,
what you are saying. Sorry, I'm still not really here.
no, you're
um,
fine. You're fine.
That sounds good though.
I'm just
Fine,
worried about. I'm just worried about you guys. That's all.
Let's find a better place to make camp.
Yes,
Because
not by
it's
the
your home
library.
turf, Illyria, you get advantage on any survival checks made to find camp.
Okay, I'm gonna roll to find a nice little campy spot.
You know the best and coolest places to avoid any kind of like heavy rains washing you away, or
Oh yeah,
any natural, like I will call them dino paths, where
Yeah.
dinosaurs tend to congregate or
rolls.
roam.
yeah. 21.
Okay, you end up spooking a bunch of like little dinosaurs, like the little chicken-sized ones that they peep and en masse go scurrying away. But you find a nice area where the canopy is kind of angled in such a way that the erosion hasn't done so much damage, and the earth is still packed enough. It's still kind of the dry season for this island, so it's not spongy in any way, but there's a nice bed of moss still in this area. So you are able to actually find a suitable place that's actually fairly comfortable.
It should be good.
This is great work.
Or you also find a small water source, a little like trickling brook.
Sorry, Sirenscape just turned on for me for some reason, so I just heard tigers.
Yeah. I haven't even.
Wait, just now?
Well, I actually didn't realize that I didn't click into Roll20. So I think as soon as I actually went into Roll20, that the tiger Sirenscape thing turned on. So I was like, no, no.
Wow,
Nice.
that was like I did that
Yeah,
at the
it does not-
beginning of the encounter.
Yeah, I just went into Roll20.
I didn't
so.
realize that would kind of like stay queued.
Yeah, I didn't. Obviously, I didn't either, and it just it scared me. Actually, I was like, it's a tiger.
Speaking of spores, man, I've been having like I have seasonal allergies. This is
Ugh.
not the season for them, but because it's been so warm in New England, there was a weather report saying that because there was no deep ground thaw and the rest of it is thawing early, all the fungal spores are coming up out of the ground right now. So it's been like regularly kicking my ass. So if you see me like scratching my nose or stuff like that, trust me, I'm not a drug addict. I am just I'm having a bit of a reaction.
Yes.
But so
yes.
So yeah, you do find a good place to
And a water
bed down.
source. Yes. No tiger.
Yeah, that's funny. It's like, are you all in Sirenscape?
Yes.
I am not. I forgot to open it.
You missed it then. I was like, when Edie was talking, I actually played the tiger roar.
I just heard a roar. Like I haven't heard Sirenscape the
Same.
entire game, and it just started.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's
it's not
so
just you.
weird. Oh, I just clicked the button, so I did.
Oh,
That was
okay.
me definitely right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that
I
was
was
me.
gonna say.
And actually, hold on. Let's get the ambiance. Can I?
Little fireside chat inbound.
I think this is the one.
Here we go.
Can you guys hear that?
I think bump it a little bit because that's very. Oh well, no, don't actually, because I can just alter it on the player.
Can you guys at
Yeah.
home hear it?
Yeah, that's what matters.
It's so cute. It's so relaxing. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's so low. You guys at home can't hear that at all. I'm gonna turn it up on Sirenscape. I just got to make sure that I don't blast anyone's ears out.
Yeah.
How's it sound out there? Okay. So I do another tiger roar. I don't want it to be like raw and everyone's like pissing their pants. So you can set up camp in the sun. It gets in the jungle and then under the canopy. It gets darker faster. So it eventually starts to. It actually kind of looks really pretty because as the light sets, the shadows get longer. You get those lances of light where they still break through the canopy that kind of like shower the area that you're in. Like it just looks it gives that impression of motion as the light rays still hit the ground, but in the patches of shadow are between all of these where the sun isn't, the bioluminescent plants begin to glow. So in between the spots of sunlight, you can see shades like deep purples, blues, and teals, and bright greens begin to just kind of come to life as the nighttime creatures begin to come out. There
Your home is-
are what's that?
Go on.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
was just about breaking the roleplay. No, carry.
No, I was just gonna say you get the calls of like the twilight birds, and the sounds of like evening insects begin to, the crickets and things like that. And it actually, for a moment, feels really peaceful, even though you realize the danger that is surrounding you at any given moment. And off in the distance, you hear the distant roar of some great beast, and overhead the cry of like pterodactyl and things like that. And go ahead, take it away.
Your home, your back garden, albeit a little bit dangerous, is very beautiful, Illyria. It's very nice.
Yeah. Ireland is very beautiful.
You seem to know it like the back of your hand as well.
Well, I've been here a long time.
It's still a good. It's still a great skill.
It is. It's useful.
Everyone feeling a little bit better?
The setting is definitely helping the mood.
Mm.
So you are starting to like that fatigue from having the psychotropic trip is starting to fade. And while you don't like completely replenish your energy because it's still like the end of the day is coming, you don't feel that ache in your muscles when the adrenaline starts to flood, to actually fade from your body. Ilithia, since where you are from, you're kind of getting these you're kind of getting a sense of familiarity. Like you're feeling homesick for a home that you don't remember. You feel this longing for a place. Like the bioluminescence is reminding you of something, it's familiar to you. And to the eyes of an ash elf, it's a little bit brighter in the darkness.
How does this kind of environment compare to the Feywild?
There's actually, you could say that there are similarities because of the vibrance of the plants. Like the ones that are bioluminescent are really a stark contrast to the darkness that they are illuminating. So, it's kind of like, you ever see like the person that does the writing in the air with the light, and it kind of leaves by
Yeah.
like that glow. It's that level of contrast. And because of it, there's enough of these plants in the area that it's actually generating dim light. You're not in complete darkness. But it does have a parallel to the Feywild.
I think she would probably have that moment of like realization and just kind of smile to herself and probably like look down at her book, which is very, very Feywild. So I think Charlotte's happy with that.
Edie has visibly not relaxed since earlier, and probably with like the weirder that all of this is getting, and like the weird little like bioluminescent plants and like being fucked up earlier, just is worried and on guard.
Kind of accurate. Being fucked up earlier. Like, yeah, that's
Yep.
a true statement. What are the rest of you doing?
I mean, Illyria is still pretty apathetic, just like drained of emotion. But she's gonna notice that the mood is pretty down, and she's gonna pull out her flute or her pan flute and play a little
normal
song for
tune?
everyone. A normal tune
Okay.
for everyone.
Okay.
Like a
Just give me a
fireside.
performance check. And you're with advantage on this.
Oh, advantage. Oh,
Mhm.
lovely. I don't know if it'll help. Oh, come on, click. There we go. Wait, what? That's not right.
You rolled perception there.
Yeah, that's not right. My bad.
With perception,
it's right underneath
that you
it.
have plants. You notice that you have the pipes.
Ta-da.
Okay, I mean, it's not like exceptional. Oh, you have a -1. You know what? Just give me I forgot you don't have performance, but you do have the pipes. Give me the tool check without advantage. So the tool check.
Tool check?
Yeah, I think I created. Did I create the skill for you? It would be the bottom of your skills.
Additional skills.
Like if it showed. I mean, I can actually check.
Custom skills. I don't see it.
I'll add it, but it's a dexterity check.
Okay. So I can just do a regular dexterity check. Oh. 22.
So it is actually a very good tune.
Oh. Okay.
That's a natural 20. It's an exceptionally good tune.
Yeah,
well, it's more than that. You did a dexterity saving throw. So
Oh, okay.
So Leia, let me.
sorry.
That's fine. We're gonna keep it. You did a natural 20. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
You got you did an amazing. You start playing
Yeah.
this tune that's like this haunting tune.
Yeah, she's gonna put all of her emotions into it, like all of the sadness and just despair
Was
and
it,
everything that she's feeling is gonna go into this tune, and it's just gonna, yeah.
It's a what was his name? Zamfir? Was that his name or
Who?
Zamfir. He's known for playing I can't remember his name. But he's known for playing like pan pipes and things like that.
Oh, okay.
And his songs are like really, really haunting.
Okay. Then
And
yeah.
you can hear in the immediate area the night insects have stopped their noise. And you can hear the low rumble of a predatory cat coming from somewhere off in the distance, not too far away, and in the tree line. And quick perception check, you can see the reflective surface of a cat's eyes in the trees. Doesn't come closer, but it's almost as if the music attracted it and it's listening peacefully.
Yeah. Valeria, if she notices it, will just keep playing until
Okay.
the song is done.
Yep. Is there anything else you want to do before I roll it over to the next day?
I mean,
That's why I'm asking, because
you know me.
I don't want to be like, okay, it's the next
Let's
day.
role
But like, wait,
play,
can we roll it
gentlemen.
back? Because Sammy likes doing the RPs and kicking it in with a campfire. Campfire chats are usually good for interactivity between characters. That's usually the best place to get lore dumps from them. That's why I was giving you the opportunity to do that. So, Sammy?
Yes.
Well, if anyone else wants to go first, like absolutely go for it.
You don't have to. Like, I can roll it
Oh,
down.
you go
That's
for
fine.
it. You go for it. Cause I've got can do fireside chats now. Let's go.
And Amy, I'm going to add that skill. It'll be a custom
thank-
skill I'm adding for you. So you won't have to figure it out.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, that's good. That's good. Pan flute as a skill.
It's a great instrument choice.
So we're setting up the scene. We're in camp. A little fire is probably going. Nothing crazy. Edie is sat around. Probably has her back to something solid. With a good view of, what's going on. But is just gonna sit at the fire.
Does she go like off at any point? Or she pretty much there till she sleeps?
She goes off probably earlier in the night, and she's there at the fire probably until everybody else falls asleep.
Okay, so if she goes like he said earlier on, I think Charlotte would maybe just, because she wouldn't want to bring this up in front of everyone, just out of respect for you, but
Yeah.
hey, sorry to bother you. I know this is probably a sensitive subject. I just wanted to check in, after what happened before, and seeing that the whole scar and whatnot. Just wanted to make sure you're okay.
I mean, now, technically, yes, I'm fine. Are you okay? Are the two of you okay? Like, what happened?
Me and us, you mean?
Yes, I mean, I know Lady's fine, but she's been, like, off doing something, but, like, just,
No, we're
like,
fine.
Two of us are
don't.
fine. Nothing happened to us.
It's good then.
Ladies gathering herbs.
Yeah, she's been, probably beak deep in her herb organizers, I'm sure. I don't, I don't know what that was, and don't
What-
know how to go about finding out what it was. And
What did the spores make you see? Did you have a vision? Like, did you hallucinate?
no, I don't think so. It was just, it was just me. But that part of you that was that part of me that only lives when you're in a fight. So when decisions don't really matter because you will figure it out later.
And it was different to like being in your like one of your wild sheeps. Like it wasn't the same as that.
No, because when I do that, I'm still me the whole time. And I know you and I recognize you, and you know me and recognize me. Didn't know you. Either of you.
I mean, we didn't know you.
Did you feel out of control when you were in that state?
No, I felt like I was supposed to. I didn't. It didn't feel like anything until you guys started acting in a way that I couldn't, you know,
Comprehend?
I couldn't. Yeah, and it is and then it was like, well, if that's what they're doing, then it's me that is not the right way. And then I don't know. There's a thing when I am in a different form that I know it, I feel it, and it is like it's like a costume that I'm taking on. It's like I can take it off. I don't have to. I know it's not mine.
All right, I understand.
But that was me, and I thought you were looking at me. And
No.
that's not the same.
Though I don't know if anyone's told you, but you've retained those same feline eyes that you had when you were turned.
What?
Yes. I don't have a mirror to show you, but I can. And she pulls out a bit of fleece from a component pouch and kind of rubs it, and pulls out the wand and just touches the tip of it, and it creates this visual image of your face, but with these feline eyes, so you can see what's going on. That's what it looks like.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out my bag. Is the tiger statuette still in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll pull it out. And I'll hold it up to them. And so while I was down in the cargo, I found this. It's, but didn't think that it was anything, but
You mean the cargo of the Wyvern's Week?
it's of our ship. Yes, it was in with. That's how I got the oranges. It was in with the broken crate of the oranges, and I just picked it up. And I've had it since. I haven't done anything with it, but maybe it's
cursed or something. I can take a look at it if you like. I can try and identify it.
Just be careful. That's all. Just do you have to touch it to identify it? I mean, I don't want it to do something to you.
You do have to come in contact with it.
You do. I do. Yeah.
I don't.
Does it look arcane? Can I make an arcana check with us?
Yep. So it appears to be a stylized. I don't know if you're familiar with kind of like Incan or Mayan style of art.
Yeah.
So it is definitely a tiger, but it is that style. And first thing that you notice is that the fangs on this thing are actually pretty friggin' sharp. Very pointy.
One of them probably has blood on it. Just a little bit.
That was a 21 arcana.
Okay. Without knowing whether or not this has magical properties, it definitely has some kind of a natural significance. Like, I mean, not natural significance, holy significance. There is definitely some reverence to it in the way that it's carved. Give me a religion check if you'd like to follow that up.
I'll try.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a natural 19 for a 20.
Yes.
You are pretty sure that this is a depiction of Sulandra.
Yeah, the passion of
Not
nature.
passion is the dedication of nature.
Dedication.
Yes.
This is I don't know if you knew this, Edie, but this is some religious iconography. It's actually it's symbolic of Salandra, the dedication of nature. I know Illyria mentioned them before.
Ooh.
Illyria said that that's the name that she gave the volcano.
Yes. It is. And didn't lady also just called that avatar from Solantra as well?
On the ship where you
The
found
ship,
the
That's-
idol.
yes.
That's a great point. I didn't think about it.
Hmm.
Salandra is everywhere right now.
What do I have any druid lore memories connected to this at all?
Memories? Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mm.
'Cause-
Give me a I'm going to say survival check. Do you have history trained?
Believe so, but let me double check. Ooh, no, I do not. I have religion trained.
You have religion. Oh. And you have
Yeah.
survival?
I do not have survival.
Oh, then give me the religion check.
Okay. Brain work. Ooh, hell yeah, baby. Dirty 20.
So
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm also gonna add a D6 to this as well. 22.
Okay. So this is more almost like an ancestral memory in your understanding of what
Mm.
this is. It's old.
Mm.
It's really old.
Mm.
You're not exactly sure how old, but there have been lost civilizations that
Mm.
revered Sulandra and maintained a level of primal existence where they went out of their way to eschew any kind of modern technology and lived completely like, druids nowadays, for the most part, they're connected to nature, but they're more like shepherds of nature. So they use, while they don't necessarily use metal or anything like that, they still use like more modern things. You'll see them in clothes and things like that. Like
Mm.
you,
Mm.
as a modern druid. The people that revered this idol and worshipped Sulandra the way that they do,
Mm.
clung to nature. Like, we're talking like they were probably nudists in the middle of the jungle. If they wore anything, it was the skin of an animal that they bested in
Yeah.
hand-to-hand combat. Like that level of primal existence, which kind of came through when you first transformed into Edie Cat.
Yeah.
That's now a thing, by the way. You are now forever Edie Cat.
Edie cat.
Um,
Wonderful.
So you kind of have an instinctual connection to this idol at this point.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
So is the assumption that you're making whatever happened back there was linked to the statue rather than your scar, or do you think maybe your scar has some significance as well?
Oh, the scar. I've had this for a long time, so I don't.
Were you born with that, or?
In a sense, yes. But I don't think that it has anything to do with that. I've had it for as long as I can remember.
Like
So
were you in like an accident and that's how you got it, or? Sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions. I deeply
no,
apologize.
it's okay. It's fuzzy sometimes. It's difficult. I think so. I feel like I want to say yes, but at the same time, I'm not sure.
It's okay.
But like I said, it's been a long time, and my family that I was with at the time said that it was permanent, but it wasn't anything bad. So I mean, I don't think it would do something now. It's been years.
So you're saying your family has similar scars?
No, I was under the care of my grandmother, and she just she said that there had something had happened. Don't remember the details, but like I said, I had them, and that's what it was now. But you can like they're not like they don't do anything. They're just
I mean, if
No.
anything, they're pretty cool looking.
they are they hurt sometimes, but just the usual way things hurt.
Right. And yeah, I just I only ask because I care, right? So I know you've stood up for me in the past and fought for me and fought alongside me. And I always think about that time with the dogs with my stepfather, and you really showed him who was boss. And I love that. I don't, and I'm sure he hated it. So that was great. But yeah, if I can understand you, Edie, it means I can protect you more. That's why I ask.
Yeah. Okay. There is a lot I don't know, and there is a lot of things I have a ghost of a memory of. But yeah, like I said, that people like that man on the docks, there's no point in flaunting that you have no love for anything. I think that is
No,
heinous and sad.
he does have love for some things, pretty much himself and money.
Yeah, those are things. That's not
Mm-hmm.
It's not real.
you know. So, but I don't know. There are things that I want to say because I have the words for them, but I can't say them. And there are things that I wish I could explain, but I don't have the words for.
You don't need
So
to. If that happens again, I'm sure the five of us and Volpini will be there for you. We got your
Okay.
back.
Okay. Thank you.
You just take it easy.
I
Easy,
don't think
easy.
I have ever. So don't think I've ever taken it easy. So Does this place remind you of the Feywild?
It does actually. I had that epiphany before. Yes, it's bringing back a lot of fond memories, to be honest. And I'm sure when she looks at Volpini, this little girl here is liking it much more than she was at sea.
Yes, the sea. It's funny. The sea. It feels like out of all of the things on this plane, the sea is the thing that is closest to the Feywild that this plane has. And I don't like it, and I'm not comfortable here.
That's a shame.
I don't. Sorry.
Have you been to the Feywild
Might keep
yourself?
it. What?
Have you been to the Feywild yourself?
Oh, for a bit longer than I would have liked, I think. But, I've been there.
Okay.
I think.
Charlotte can sense that there's clearly some bad memories there and doesn't want to pry further, but she's being dead awkward about it because she's got no sister.
Were you there for a long time?
I would come and go quite a lot. Sebastian would bring me to and forth because he would take. This sounds really weird, but we would venture away in the night, and obviously, so my parents didn't get alarm bells. He had to bring me back. Time works differently between the Feywild and the material plane, so he could kind of use that in his favor. From what I know, you need to have a good understanding of the Feywild because an hour in the Feywild could mean a day in the material plane, or vice versa. And there's ways of manipulating that. He clearly is well versed in doing so. So he was able to get me back before morning, and yeah, I would spend days, weeks there.
Oh.
When I finally left home, I was there for I don't know, maybe a month or so while I had my training, and then I left for Strixhaven.
Wow. So interesting. So you were even there recently, right before school?
Pretty much, yes.
The semester?
Yeah, maybe about maybe like a year ago now.
Wow. Huh.
And the Feywild is like the material plane. There's good and bad places. I'm under no illusion there, but you know where Sebastian took me, it was nice. The village, and hopefully I can take you, and you have a better experience.
My experience was probably normal of what the entirety of the Feywild is. I don't think that it was bad or good. I think it was just the Fey. But I would be very interested to see where you ended up and how you did all of that. Yeah. Don't know.
Charlotte kind of looks to Oz to see if she's got anything else to say, but then she would just she would just leave you to it otherwise.
But eventually sleep overtakes you. And you drift off into dreamland. However, we'll start with Edie this time. Those of you who tripped balls earlier are visited by some rather vivid dreams overnight. Perhaps it's a residual effect from the psychotropic properties of the lanternweed, or some other force. But Edie, in the night, it begins with flashes of awareness. The deep smell of rich soil, the fragrant scent of flowering plants, the dampness in the air that is so heavy that you can feel it in your lungs, and these flashes come in waves, and action, because you are moving through this environment at a rapid pace, as though you are running through this jungle, and it just kind of flashes in and out. It's not the jungle that you've been spending your time in as of late on this island. It is a very different jungle. The leaves are larger and thicker, and the trees thinner and a little bit further apart, but no less dense and overgrown. And you are moving at this point with ease and at a pace that is generally only afforded to something that lives there, understands the terrain. After a short stint in this race against nothing, you realize that you're also not alone. That there is, in your presence, other creatures that you instinctively know are not only like you, but feel like family, that are connected to you in some way, shape, or form. And eventually, along this path, you see it, you smell it, taste its fear on the air as this deer, this large hart, just crashes through the underbrush as soon as it becomes aware of your presence. And in concert, you and your packmates chase and take down this large animal. The taste of blood is fresh in your mouth, and you experience the sensation of its passing. You understand that the last moments of its life mean the continuation of yours and that of your packs. And you look up from the meal that you are currently gorging yourself on, and you look into the deep green eyes of what appears to be a wolf. And you wake up that morning. We'll cut over to Illyria. Illyria, you fall into a deep sleep. And you wake up, and you're stretching. You're in your bunk, back on the sea gallop, and you sit up in your I'm assuming it's a hammock. Is it a hammock or an actual bunk?
I actually assumed that she would have taken some bunks from the ships.
Yeah, it could have been. You could have
Yeah.
made something.
Or made something, yeah.
Yeah. So you sit up in your bunk, and Captain Wilson is sitting in the old rocking chair that you found a while back, and he's just kind of rocking and watching you sleep. Morning, child. Sleeping in a bit late today, aren't you?
Yes, Captain Wilson. I was just so tired from yesterday. I don't know what I did. I was just
You were running wild, child. I told you to be careful. There are things out there that just as soon chomp your head off as piss on it.
Yes. There's been a lot of really scary creatures lately, but I've been practicing. I've been practicing my moves and self-defense, and I've been better at it.
You've been using your wheat collector, eh?
Yes. It's actually been very helpful. It cuts a lot more than wheat, I guess you could say.
Right. Also tends to cut to the chase. When
Yes.
you're in a tight spot, you're just like, hey, I'm not here to talk. I'm here to collect the
Yes,
toll,
it feels
as it were.
so powerful, and I don't know. I just don't feel. I don't feel like that small girl anymore. I almost feel as strong as you sometimes.
So you kind of have that little aside, and then it strikes you what he just said. He said, "Collect the toll."
Collect the toll. Yes. Collect the toll. I need to.
Aye.
Whose toll do I need to collect?
We all share the same debt, darling. We all owe the same collector. Hey, you
We all
his
owe the
name,
tax.
The tax man.
Yes.
Aye.
We
It's
all.
something we all have to pay.
Yes, and it's inevitable. We all have to pay the tax. We all have to pay the tax.
It's about time you face some facts, darling. I think at this point, there's only one person amongst the crew who still carries a debt.
I know this. I know I've been putting off my tax. I just hope that
I'm
can.
not telling you to cash in. It's not your time. What I'm just trying to tell you
I know
is
there's
that
a
we've
debt, but I'm not
already
scared.
paid it. We've paid.
What?
We've paid that tax. None of us owe anything anymore.
You're free. Free of your tax.
We've paid
Free
it.
of the debt.
There's no collecting it from us anymore. But I think you haven't accepted that yet.
I don't want to let go.
Well, I didn't say I'm going to go anywhere. Just trying to tell you. You owe us nothing. There's only one person that you have anything to answer for. And
There
he's
is?
not going to come calling until it's time. Just don't
Yes,
go out of
he's-
your way to pay that debt.
No. I won't. He only asks when it's time. I know he's very fair.
Exactly.
He's a fair collector.
And he's wise. He's guided you this far.
Yes, he's been very, very helpful. He helped me with all of you.
Aye, that he did.
So much to thank him for.
You can thank him by carrying his message. Carry it forth into the rest of the world.
I will.
Read the
I always will.
signs. Know who and who is not ready. But never willingly go out of your way to collect a debt what isn't owed yet.
Yes.
Remember that.
Yes. I'll remember that.
Never hesitate to collect the ones that are.
How am I to know when they're ready?
Ah,
When I need to collect the toll?
how did you know anything before now? You've been guided, girl. You've listened to your crew, but really, you've got to know by now. Those
I
were
think I've
your
always
voices, not ours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen to your heart. It's got you this far. Go with your new friends.
My new friends.
Make sure that they live long and happy lives,
It's just so hard to say goodbye.
and be there when it's time to collect their debts.
I will. If it just they can be my new crew, and when the time has come, then they can live a little longer, but their debts will be paid. If that is what I must do.
You know where to find the answers. And you know how to
Yeah.
ask. It's been taught to you already.
Yes.
And again, don't forget. We'll not be far. And I'll always have your back, darling.
I know you're always with me. I can feel your presence. I know you're there, watching over me. Thank you for that.
And would you do me one favor?
Anything.
Trim the damn beard. Looks like I haven't had a shave in over a year now.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I was going for a style but I could trim it though.
Is that what it
there-
was? A style?
Yeah, there was a style that I thought, but I'll trim it.
And
I'll
maybe
trim
a
the
nice hat. Oh, I so
I'll-
loved hats.
I'll find a hat. There actually, I think there was a hat that maybe washed up recently. I'll find a hat.
Oh, no, you will. You've always had my back, and I've always had yours.
Yes, for eternity.
But it's now time to wake up. You're sleeping too long once again. And he claps his hands. And, like, you just kind of, like, wake with a start. And the sun is now breaking through the canopy at this point, and, you know, it's morning has come. And you notice that there are some tears in your eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, she's going to get ready, but also go immediately to trimming the beard of her coconut mask. But she's gonna be like very into it, just trying to make it look nice. She's like very
Really
Yeah.
manicuring the coconut
Really-
fibers,
yeah, concentrating super hard. Yeah.
giving him a nice haircut. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move over to Lithia. Lithia.
Mhm.
You're standing in darkness, but you're aware that you are not alone. You feel the ground beneath you, but you are in utter darkness. And you feel the strike before you understand where it's coming from. And this piece of hardwood smacks you right in the shoulder, sends you sprawling. Lithia, pay attention. You aren't focused. The voice sounds familiar, though you can't recognize it. Get up, you're not dead.
I'll push myself up.
Again, stand in position. First, defensive form, followed up with second and third strikes. Pay attention. Focus. Don't see with your eyes. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Sense the movement in the air. Focus. You, again, this time, you feel the faint tremor in the ground beneath you, close enough that you can feel the position, the direction that it's coming in. You sense the movement because of the displacement of the air, the sound as it gently whistles. And this time you manage to step aside, you duck the blow, which is coming from the opposite direction that it came last time. And you reach out with your, as you now understand it, you're holding a weapon in hand, is a training version of the twin-bladed scimitar that you currently wield. And you reach out with a lunging thrust with the first blade, which is the leading blade, which is the left blade. And then you basically take a cross step with your leading leg and pivot on the heel, dragging the rear leg forward towards what you perceive as the target, spinning around and thrusting with the second blade. And the first one makes no purchase. It hits nothing, but you can feel the second one is parried. Clack of the wood, of the two pieces of wood striking against each other. Good, good. You were a little off balance. When you're taking the pivot, make sure that you already have the first foot anchored before you turn. Don't lose your balance and don't lean. Don't lean into it. Make sure that you stand upright. Keep your back straight. Be the pivot.
Ithia, just out of like instinct, I guess, will just roll her eyes as this person is talking.
I think that's enough for today. And this deep blue glow starts to fill the room that you're in as what appears to be a sapphire crystal, like a sapphire gem, just comes to light. And this person, whose face is familiar, but their name is just almost there, just not there. His eyes collect the light and give that feline reflection that ash elves often give off because of their existence in the darkness. And when he does that, several other crystals in the room also illuminate, and you realize that you are in some kind of a dojo. There are weapons, practice weapons, covering the walls, and like among them in various cases are actual weapons, including the coveted sword that belonged to your father, the twin-bladed bone scimitar that you now carry. And you can think in your mind, this is going to be mine someday. When I earn this, I must do it honor. And you instinctively start to get into forms again to go through more of the emotions. And this person puts his hand on the weapon, stopping you from doing it. I said that is enough for today. If you push yourself too far, it won't become rote. You will just train yourself to do the wrong thing every time. You must rest. You must recuperate and recover. Come. It's time for dinner anyway. And
Right.
I think your cousin will be returning with the wine that I sent him out for. And in your mind, just before you wake up, hear a word whispered, but you just can't make it out. And it seems to be coming from the direction of the sword on the wall. You wake up. I'm going to say that those who didn't trip balls are up first. Because those who did actually have, those fitful dreams, you're in it longer. So you oversleep a little.
You don't know. We could have had a steamy night.
I don't know. Are you
don't know.
suggesting
A level of
something?
exhaustion.
No, I'm kidding. It's just for the lols.
That's all up to you. I'm just glad I don't have to role play this relationship. I get a reprieve in this game so far.
I love
To be
how you
honest.
yourself said so far. Like, you kept so far in there.
Because I have new players. We've had talks. So
Oh, I know.
I'm just saying, if it's anything like my other games, the option's there. It's open. I said
So far
right
is accurate.
now, I have that reprieve. So those who wake up early would notice you clearly know that they are in some kind of fitful dreams. Edie looks like she's even like snarling a bit in her sleep and kind of like making like weird chuffing noises as though she's out of like controlling her breathing, kind of thrashing a little bit in her sleep. You kind of you might hear some sobs coming from Illyria as she's, you know, kind of tossing and turning. Hers are more subtle in their movement, but you can definitely tell that she's locked in something. And Ilithia is making rapid movements with her head, like her shoulders twitch here and there, and like hands like instinctively. It's kind of like that, you know, when a dog's running in their sleep. You know they're performing specific actions while they're dreaming. You know what I'm talking about? It's kind of the same deal. Like her movements seem practiced and deliberate. But eventually they all wake up, and almost all at the same time. Do the two people or rather three people, get breakfast going, or you just waiting patiently for them to wake up?
I think we're good friends and do that, right?
I think we'd get breakfast started for them so they're not hungover and miserable and without food.
So when you wake up,
All our MVPs.
when the three of you wake up, you know, are greeted with the once your actual faculties clear and you realize where you are, you come back to reality, and you are greeted. I knew, Sammy, you were gonna just run with that lyric. Knew it.
You know
I
me.
fucking knew it, mate. So yeah, you wake up and you're greeted with the smell of freshly cooked breakfast. There's probably still some sizzling going on, and you know it lends to the atmosphere. And you guys all sit up. So I'm gonna turn it now back over to you.
Edie wakes up like gasping and coughing and like just sort of like pulls herself to standing, and
You also taste blood,
I was just gonna say,
and
and
you realize
sort of
that
like
you actually bit your lip at some point.
yeah, so she'll wipe her mouth and then just sort of like look down at the spot that she was sleeping in with like a little bit of disbelief almost. Oh, and then realized that she tasted blood and had like came away from her mouth and saw that there was blood. She'll spin around and make sure that everybody else is here.
They are indeed.
Okay. Okay.
How about the rest of the other two
Um,
nightmare dreamers?
well, she's, she wipes away her tears and she's kind of like fixing the coconut. And once she thinks it's like kind of good enough, she'll get up and head towards where breakfast is being made. I assume it's not ready yet, but she's definitely hungry. And she'll just sit down, and she looks better. Like her mood is definitely improved. I mean, she's definitely into the coconut, but she seems to be almost back to her old self. So
yeah, Charlotte would eventually bring you something over. Insert jungle food here, and just say,
grass soup. Here you go.
grass soup.
Super fucked up matcha tea. Just
Oh, what is that TikTok where it's like, salt soup and sugar for. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. It's been
No,
a
I know
thing.
what you mean.
Have some
I know what
water
you
soup
mean.
and mustard sandwiches. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got you a little something to eat. I hope you slept okay.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so hungry. Starving. What kind of grass is this?
It's crabgrass, I think.
Oh yes, yes, by the oniony texture I could tell, or oniony taste. Yes.
Right,
Somewhere
exactly.
Henry is just screaming in agony.
Are you?
There
I
was
meant to
no
say.
consent.
I meant to compliment you last night on your flute playing. That was a lovely melodic tune you were playing. Do you play any other
Yes.
instruments, or is it just the
Oh
pan flute?
no, just the pan flute. Yes. Well, this one I found, then I've taught myself to play, but well, there was actually a manual on some sort of instrument that was on one of the ships, and it helped me to understand how to play notes, and I taught myself some songs, but a lot of the songs I made myself. It's a lot of fun just to sit and play songs for the crew. They really enjoy it.
That's awesome. I don't play any instruments myself, but I do sing. So if you ever want to do like a little duet, we could do some pan flute, we could do some vocals. Like I'd be down for that.
Ah, that would be so much fun. We could be like a little traveling band.
Nice, nice. I've been
I
trying to learn
can't
some.
do vocals though, so
Okay,
I
but
don't.
I got that covered.
Okay, okay.
I've been trying to learn some sea shanties. Do you know any?
Oh, I know plenty. Yes. Oh, there's a book of sea shanties back at the Sea Gallop. It's a book and it has a few of them in there.
Okay, I definitely need to see that.
And I think some of the crew also know some. We could I could get them to talk and they could tell us.
Absolutely. Maybe they could join in. A couple of hand drums in there, maybe.
I'm not quite sure if that's in their faculties, but I could try.
Okay. So, would you say you're a bit of a bard, or is your expertise like elsewhere?
Bard. A bard? Oh. No, that's more who was the bard? 1 second. Oh, that's more Bill Bones, I'd say. He was the one that knew how to dance and sing.
Okay, I just saw the instrument, and that was the first thing I thought of. We used to have a close friend of ours. Her name was Dax. She was a bard. She was very,
Oh.
well versed in instruments and stuff. But she went her own way, so it just reminded me of that. That's all.
Oh, well, that's fun. I haven't known any other bards. Just Bill Bones.
And he's a good bard.
What I remember. Yes. He has a nice low voice. Kind of like Captain Wilson. So it's sort of... He was always the baritone. And then Dirty Dan, he was more of a tenor. He wasn't the best singer, but he tried, and that's all that mattered. It's all about the fun. It's not really about how good it is.
Right. Yeah, you eat up and get your strength, and then.
Yes, thank you for the breakfast. Yes, go ahead, do your thing.
Absolutely fine. But yeah, Charlotte would wait for an opportune moment and then just kind of come up to Alithia.
How did Alithia wake up, by the way? We never
yeah.
got that.
She probably would have like shut up and like whispered, "Leave."
What did you say?
That would
What did you
don't
say?
leave.
Oh.
That would be it. And then she'd just kind of sit there like
Gotcha.
just tense.
She would also come over with a plate initially, just leave it, and kind of maybe come back like once you were finished and just say, do you mind coming to just over to the little spring there just to gather some water for the day? If you're feeling up to it, of course. I know you had a bit of a rough one yesterday.
Everything's fine. Let's go.
Okay. You saunter over, and once you get a bit of privacy, she's like, "Look, I can't like to say it myself. I only asked you to do that so we could talk a little bit in private. So here we are. Okay, what do I want to say, Charlotte? So, I know it's been a couple of rough couple of days for you, and whatnot. Do you Have you remembered at all how you came upon that atoll, or is that still foggy?
What are you asking precisely? It's sorry, I'm still a bit fuzzy.
It might be the accent. It's a little bit like that. The atoll, the small island you were washed up on. I was asking if you remembered how you got there. Maybe we could help you out a bit more if you.
Was probably on a boat.
But you don't know why or
No
who
clue.
with or no, nothing like that. Okay. Well, that's a shame, but you've got friends in us, and we'll do our best to get your memories back in whatever way we can. So that's good.
You are smart, right, Charlotte?
Oh, I like books. I do read a lot of books. Maybe does that make me smart? Maybe.
I think so. So I did remember something yesterday. My scimitar, it was my dad's. Knew I had a dad, but I don't know who he is.
Well, that's funny you should say that because I also have a weapon from my father, and I also don't know who my father is. So we're in the same boat there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, no, it's absolutely fine. And I was going to compliment you on your weapon, by the way. It's a lovely piece of weapon you've got there. Do you do you spar? Like, can we spar?
Now?
No, not now. Just like in the future, because we've had a couple of people come and go from the group, and I mean, when I think about it, we've pretty much lost a lot of swords people. There was Fenris. I think you'd have liked her actually. She was very up your alley. And there was Ileana. She was a bit of a swashbuckler, kind of unorthodox style. And then we had Atticus, who was a bit more of a heavy hitter. So they all had different styles, but it was good to train off of. I learned a lot from them. So yeah, if you ever fancy it, I would be totally on board for having a little clash of swords.
Sure, yeah.
Perfect. Also, and she gets like she goes really quiet and starts whispering. I don't know if you picked up on this. I think it was yesterday, but Illyria said that you had really nice eyes. I don't know what that means, but
She did?
it came out of nowhere, and I was like, did she say that? And she did say that. So I don't know. She thinks you got really nice eyes, apparently.
This little instigator.
Do not think she likes me.
Why not?
I tried to help her yesterday after the then I was like, can I help you in any way? She was like, no, leave me alone. So I
Oh,
don't think she likes me very much.
I
Don't know what
doubt
I
that.
did.
No, I doubt that. If those spores were enough to turn Edie into a tiger, then I can only imagine how impactful they were on both your and Illyria's minds as well. So she was probably just, shaken up from whatever was going on in her head. So the same can be said for you as well. So I wouldn't read too much into it. But you do have nice eyes. Obviously not as nice as Rosalia's eyes, of course. But
Celia's eyes.
Illyria's correct. You do.
Thank you. I want to say they are my mother's eyes, but I have no idea.
You don't know. That's all right. That's all right. So yeah, did you notice she said that as well, or am I just like
When did she say that?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of precisely when she brought that up, but yeah, I know she did. My memory's pretty good. maybe she has like a crush on you or something.
Gosh. I don't think so, Charlotte.
Well, you
Don't
never
think
know.
I-
I mean, to be fair, I am not. I know a lot of things, and romance is one of them. One of those things that I'm still trying to work out. So maybe I'm just way off.
Do you have romance, Charlotte? I
she
heard
goes.
something about Edie, but
She goes. She goes very red and kind of just retracts in on herself. It's very obvious. Do I have romance? Yes, I do. I don't know what to call it. Where me and Ozelia are we're dating, I think, maybe, possibly. I like her in that way. So
you are not dating yet. You are dating? It's
I
confusing.
I don't know how it works. I know in different parts of the world people say different things and I don't know, like different terminologies, but we've had a couple of kisses and we've went on a couple of dates. And it's my first foray into anything like this, so I'm just trying to figure it out. I was hoping to speak to someone with kind of knowledge on this topic, but obviously with your amnesia, you're maybe in the same boat as me, and we're maybe a bit lacking there.
Yeah, probably. But I feel like it's talking is always important. Talk to
Like,
her.
I've been thinking about like she's stuttering because she's like so nervous about what she's talking about, and well, I've been thinking about maybe asking her to be my girlfriend, but I don't know. Like, I don't know when the best time is for that. Like, how long do I wait? You know, it's been, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks since we had our like first kiss. Like, we've been friends for a while, so like the foundations are already there. But like in terms of like when it transitioned to like a romantic thing, and maybe I'm thinking about this like too systematically. That's just the way my brain works, you know, being a scholar and whatnot. Um, maybe I just know when the time comes, right?
Sure. Or maybe not. You have to find the moment yourself. Create
Okay.
the moment. I don't know.
Right. But if she seems like happy in my company and she kisses me back, so like I'm just scared if she says no because then that'll be awkward. And I don't want to make things awkward. We've got a mission to do. We've got a task to fulfill.
Well, maybe start with I don't want to kiss other people. Do you? Then you'll know.
Well, I don't. I definitely don't want to do that. I want her.
Exactly. You are on the same page about kissing, and then you go to the next step.
Okay, this is very helpful. Ellie, can I call you Ellie? Sorry, I just threw that one in there.
That's all right. Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, this was fun.
Learned a lot.
Maybe I can come back. You know, give it a couple of days. I can tell you how things have been going. We can go from there, kind of like regular check-ins and whatnot.
Sure, I would love to know about your love life.
Okay. And then, like, when I do that, you can tell me how things are going with Illyria as well.
Again, I do not think she likes me.
Well, no, it's probably too early doors. But, you know, there's a chance.
Always a chance.
Right, okay. We don't want to speak too long because the rest of the group will get suspicious, but I'll leave you
Right.
to fill your water skin and then, rather than like walk back together, because that looks a bit odd. And then we'll go from there.
Right. I will wait 60 seconds and follow you.
That's a great number. Okay, see you soon.
Right.
All right, so Charlotte, you head back first. So,
Yes.
the rest of you would have seen them go off alone, and then Charlotte comes back, and then literally a minute later. I mean, I'm assuming you're doing it a minute later, but I'm not gonna put that. Do you actually wait a minute and come back?
Yeah, I take it easy, wash my hands.
I
fill
would
my
like to
water.
also point something out. If you're going to be called Ellie, Lyria, you cannot be called Allie. I'm putting my foot down on that one.
It's like
Illyria doesn't do
I
nicknames.
only I have to call her Ellie because the only name I have in my head is Illyria, and I know that they're not
Mhm.
the same person. So
Yeah.
my dyslexia absolutely killed Ellie's name.
Yeah.
I was just like, there's a bunch of letters.
If
And
I
then
knew
Illyria, I was like, okay, she's getting a nickname. I have to tell her and make sure.
if I knew that there was gonna be so many names that were similar, I would have chosen a different name, but
Aw.
I have Amir and Minar in a game, and that always fucks me up because of the name. Looking at the name is always like, it's so similar. It's spelled almost exactly the same letters. So it's like, okay, enough. And then you have Visera is in that game, and we also have Visenia in that game.
oh, that's
So
too close.
people Jordan especially keeps calling Visera Visenia.
nice.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
But it's okay. We're just setting up for like, I'm Ali, she's Ellie. I'm Ellie,
Oh my
she's
God.
Ali t-shirts. Like, we can just blame Liam O'Brien and Laura Belly.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
God damn people.
I
You
won't do
hate
that
me.
to you. I won't do that to you.
So yeah, you would see the two of them return. Like they went off together and then came back. Is there any kind of like emotional state, or are you just pretty much neutral because there was a pot that was stirred?
Um,
The beehive was poked.
I would say Illyria's got good passive perception. And I think ED does as well. So I'd say, yeah, they maybe see like a little bit of blush kind of still lingering on Charlotte's cheeks from the embarrassment. I'll let the
Illyria
other-
is. Well, I don't know if you're close by or close enough
Oh,
of earshot.
yeah. She's milling about. Yep.
Yeah, Illyria is gonna look up from the coconut and she's gonna be like, yesterday was Edie. Today it's lots of blushing, I see.
You see absolutely nothing, Illyria. I don't know what you're talking about. And
Yes, it is sort of hot out. Maybe you have a sunburn all over your cheeks.
to be fair, I am a frost elf, and this climate is not agreeing with me. So, yes, it's probably
Right.
that.
Right. Of course. Grass soup.
Who knows? We were maybe talking about you. And you'll walk off.
What? Oh, why would? What?
Ooh, pot stirrer,
Oh, God.
professional.
This did just turn into a
Yeah.
a
So
reality show.
Lyria's gonna like kind of go into herself and talk. What would they talk about? What would they be talking about? Well, I suppose they'd be talking about how pretty you are. Yes, of course. Are you sure? I haven't really brushed my hair in a long time. Oh, yes, that's right. You look a bit unkempt. I suppose you look a bit like Death's head upon a mop stick. But it's fine. And so that she's just gonna keep kind of talking to herself.
Okay. Olivia, you come back a minute later. You would have heard that, exchange. The between the two of them. And now Illyria is sitting there just kind of having a conversation.
With Wilson.
Right. Exactly. You know that.
It's totally normal.
Nothing to see here.
Lithia will just glare in Charlotte's direction. Fire.
Thankfully, Azalea doesn't have a great passive perception.
Oh, Oz is clueless right now. Oz is like eating like bacon and like some like grass stew and just like vibing with Edie. And
Yeah,
like,
I would-
Nodding, smiling, and
I-
everything.
yeah, she's just vibing. She's on an island. She's like, dude, we're by the sea. This is great.
I
at
would
a
also
school.
love to take this second to talk to Oz as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
So okay, where is everybody? Here's the thing. Are you Leah? Are you at the Illyria? Are you at I've now fucked myself
Wait, which
because I said I
okay,
got it.
Illyria or Alithia?
Illyria. I just,
Feel
you know what?
my
It's done
pain.
now. Dyslexia's over. It's yeah, just whew, you turned. Illyria, are you at the fire pit? And is Lady at the fire pit?
Yeah, I'm around like the common circle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, doke. Okay, doke. Okay, doke. Oh. Actually, you know what? I'll save this for later. I'll probably just do a loop of the clearing that we're in, and then just nervous energy. And she'll probably be like going to talk to Oz, have like finally worked herself up to it, and then Charlotte and Ellie will come back, and then she'll be like a different time.
Roger, Roger.
Anybody else need to do anything? What is your plan for the day?
So whereabouts are we on this map? Like kind of right now, like because there's like
You're
there's
about
an endpoint?
midway down this map. By the way,
Okay.
I am actually doing I am in the process of creating a close-up map of the Isle of Tyrants. So
Oh,
that is
cool.
actually in progress. But you're about halfway down on the eastern side of the map, which is where the ship anchored on the shore, the eastern shore near the northern tip of the Isle of Tyrants. And you guys at this point are about halfway down towards the moving towards the volcano.
Right. So we have to get a bunch more of the lantern things for him.
You're right. I don't think 5 is nowhere near enough.
No.
mm,
All right then. Let's consult the map and keep going.
Yeah, you can see again, the pathing doesn't exactly work for you guys because
pathing.
Bob can float.
Mhm.
So his, hey, go this way markings on the map were done from the perspective of a beholder. So mapping is in the eye of the beholder in this case.
Oh god.
But it is, it is like the locations are clear. So give me some, I want 3 survival checks from Illyria with advantage on those. Do you understand the terrain? "21 is good. 17 is also good.
I got 2 17s.
Nice.
17 is also good. It's technically, you got 3 17s in a row.
Yeah. Apparently 17 is my number.
So
Zac
you,
Efron
Good
over here.
number.
17 again.
she did it well with advantage. The second one roll was a 17, and then the third one was 2 17s. That's quite crazy. But you need to you guys need to share that with Jordan from my Monday game. That dude cannot roll above an 8.
That sucks.
I mean, results
He's got the
above
Will
an
Wheaton
8.
curse.
Oh, it's awful. It's so bad. But you push your way through the dense jungle, and for the most part, follow the directions of Bob. But eventually, you come out of the jungle Like you can smell the gases on the air before you even feel the heat. And in the section of the jungle that you're in, it's really palpable. The air is thick with moisture. The humidity is like way off the charts. And eventually you start hearing the hiss of heated gases and feel the heat just kind of emanating from the ground itself. And the jungle becomes sparse. It's not like on the shore, like where you were like, it was literally like a wall of jungle and then beach. The trees start to thin out, the plant life starts to thin out. The ground becomes more and more increasingly rocky with that kind of like that dark volcanic stone. And when you emerge, you are, well, Ilithia, you are struck with this immediate sense of dread and anxiety, and you become hyper alert because the landscape before you, it just looks familiar. There's liquid hot magma flowing in freely in places, and yes, I had to say that.
I loved it.
Liquid hot magma. And there are spires of stone where geysers of magma pushed up and formed all these, like, they look like jagged teeth made of black, almost ebony glass-like stone. And you can see there aren't just lava flows, but there are fields of lava, of magma, where it's just kind of like slowly pooled into like a small pond. I don't want to say pond, but it's magma, and you can see that the surface of it crusts and cracks as the magma cools and still moves. It's actually kind of mesmerizing. And y'all can give me a perception check as you're looking at all this stuff. Ozeli with a
Natural
19.
20.
Naturally.
Hey, I got an
Learning
18
something.
as well.
23.
What do your elven eyes see?
Hey.
Carbine
I
from
noticed that I'm
Dunmond.
beyond outside for once. Wow. Look, I'm outside, guys.
Wow, this is not the
Well,
ocean.
You got a 19, so
No, but like for once, that's not what I'm
it's like,
doing.
we're here. I understand now.
It's the
But
same for
no,
Shah, to be fair.
Charlotte is the one that sees it first. But you can see there is a section of one of these rivers where you can see one of the spires that has shot up. It kind of almost crosses over the magma flow, but there are striations of what will look like gold in this jut of rock. And you can see where the actual stone of this outcrop, of this tooth of lava rock meets the actual magma. You can see that part of this vein of gold is actually melting into the magma, and you can see it's making like this line of shiny lava as it flows down into the into this river. Yes. What would you like to do? Oh, you also, with the 21, you start to see off in the distance more of those plants. It's going to require you to cross the magma fields, though.
So let's get this straight. There's like a big kind of river of, I think you've been saying magma, but I'm pretty sure it's lava when it comes out of the volcano, not magma.
Yeah, there's pools of it, plus the lava is flowing.
Yeah. So that's like completely blocking us off from getting on the other side, but you said there's like a spire that's creating like a bridge.
Yes, you can see that there are like areas where you can actually cross over on these stones. Some of them might require a small jump, but there are a lot of them that are kind of like, they're like weird, like claw-like structures, but some of them overlap. There are actually some, you can see small bridges that cover like overflow.
And these are the rocks with these gold striations in them.
You only see one of them that actually has the veins of gold. It's quite beautiful though.
Okay. And like, how wide's this lava flow?
Oh, it goes on. That's the other thing, is off in the distance you see, even though its peak is shrouded in smoke and poisonous gases, you can see the volcano just bleeding lava.
Okay. So we're going to have to be walking on these rocks, which are on top of the lava for some time, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Hope you guys
Okay,
have
well,
some fire resistance.
This looks dangerous. Have you done much, I don't even know what to call it, lava traversing, Illyria?
Unfortunately, I don't. I stay away from here mostly. It's
I don't
best
blame
not
you.
to get near it. But
Right.
it doesn't look too hard. A few rocks jump from there to there. It's just like a water, except if you fail, you die. It's fine.
Right, that's, yeah.
It's all fine.
I've got a couple of spells we can do before we start. This will sound weird, but I've got a spell called Water Walk. It lets you walk on water, but it also lets you walk across lava, amongst other substances. It won't stop you from taking the damage, but you won't sink into it.
Oh.
So, which I think it's better that you don't do that. So it might be handy. It's just I can ritual cast it. It doesn't take up any resources. It'll take about 11 minutes or so to do, but I don't see why I shouldn't do it.
Mm,
It
Uh,
could help
we-
us.
that absolutely sounds like a good idea,
I
Charlotte.
think so, yeah.
I can get Oh, it's only one creature. Oh no, I read it wrong. It's 10 willing creatures. I was gonna say. Okay, so gather round, and again, you've seen this before, but she pulls out a Oh no, it's a different spell. It's Water Walk I cast last time. Hold on, this is different then. Okay. Okay, I can't think of anything fun to do with this. So yeah, she pulls out this it's like a piece of cork from her component pouch, and she kind of opens up the grimoire. This is a good point actually. So Illyria and Alithia would both know what she says here, and she kind of takes a hand and just like wafts it over the her spell book, and you see these vines that are kind of like wrapped around the open spine of the book, kind of keeping it closed. And she says Orissa, which in Elvish means grow, and the vines kind of retract and it opens up, and she finds this specific page with this water walk spell on it, and she kind of channels the magic through this cork while you all kind of sit round. And then, like I said, after around 10 minutes, you feel this kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's imagine like you had cork, like pieces of cork on the bottom of your feet. It's just like, it's kind of like a little bit bouncy. That's the kind of feeling that you get. So that's that out the way.
Like a spring in your step? Is that what you're trying to say?
Spring in it. It's a bit springy, yeah. I can make a couple of people fly if we're struggling. I can't, like, if you're already falling, it's a bit too late. So it only lasts about 10 minutes. So if we get to any really challenging areas, I can cast that. Only on one person though.
Yeah, perhaps the owl can help with the healing. It did the magic with the brightness.
Oh yes, lady.
That would help.
Lady.
Yes.
Lady.
So, shall we begin?
I think we're as ready as we'll ever be, right?
Mm.
Yes.
Matt, as a
Yes.
magic item, my winged boots lived through the tiger
Yes.
thing, correct?
Correct.
Cool. Just double checking.
I'm not cruel dungeon master.
Just gotta check sometimes.
Oh, trust me, I could be cruel. I'm challenging. Was that meme video? Was it called Trouble with Girls? And it was about the two old dudes playing like D&D. It's like Dungeon Master Doug is hard but fair. It's me. I am Dungeon Master
Oh,
Doug.
man.
So yeah, what is the plan for traversing this? Because you're right. You know, casting Water Walk will prevent you from sinking into the magma, but you will still take damage. Plus, when it comes to lava and magma, there is proximity heat damage.
Mm.
You don't have to actually be in the magma to take damage from the magma.
Wait, is there something near here that's maybe dead and can walk through lava? Can I see if there's any
I
sort of
get where you're going.
Oh my gosh.
dead creature around?
This will be so sexy of you, but Edie will be so freaked out. Just, it's gonna be so good. Oh,
If-
I hope
if
it's like a
there's anything
half-eaten
around.
dinosaur.
What? How many hit dice creature can you raise?
Oh, let me check. Oh, it has to be humanoid.
Well, that's a bummer because I had an
yeah.
idea.
Well, we could just like ignore the spell or something.
I did have an idea.
Cool.
And it says, let me see. You asked how many I could have. It says I can control multiple creatures.
Can you only control humanoid ones?
Well, this one it says that it has to be humanoid.
God damn it! Why does it have to yuck my yum?
Yeah. Sad. Oh well, that would have been
I like the idea, so I would like to actually
just
come
ignore
up with something.
it for once.
Not going to ignore it. It has to make sense.
So I would think that over the years Illyria's spent here, she's done a lot of practicing on random creatures, and maybe sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know.
She did
And it's
also
raised
get
dead,
her
right?
magic right from the guy.
Huh?
The guy.
She got like her magic stick right from the toll booth. So I mean, like, she technically
From
has
the
an easy
toll
pass.
booth.
She doesn't need to
What was that?
go fishing around for $1.
What was that? Adam Sandler thing? Toll Booth Willie. That's what I picture now. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna how are you, father? I'm gonna come out of the booth. That's the toll collector.
Oh jeez.
Oh.
$1.25 there, mom. Let me
God.
look at it. So it's animate dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone's got any like protection from energy,
The
that'll be a
only
good
thing that I do have is shatter, which we could maybe use on one of the like finger bits to like, and hopefully we just get across before it falls into, is eaten by the lava. But that's honestly the only thing that I really.
Does anyone have like a bunch of water they could make? They could just. Oh, it is flowing lava. Never mind.
Is there anything that actually animates a monster?
I don't feel like no.
There
feel like-
are stats for undead creatures.
Hmm.
And I don't see.
That doesn't seem fair.
Is there an anime? There isn't things. And what level can you cast that at?
3rd level.
At 3rd. I'm going to make a decision here. So, because I'm not even going to make you look, like make a perception check, but Illyria, you spy off in the distance, not too far away, what looks like a giant, almost like a turtle shell.
I'm gonna. One moment. I think I have an idea, and then she's going to go over towards this turtle shell to get a closer look.
Okay. You head over, and this turtle shell is large. Like it's probably about, I'd say, 8 or 9 feet across, about 10 feet long. And when you get close enough, you see that buried in the loose rocks are more bones. And you can see the top of what seems like some kind of saurial skull, and a tail that ends in like a weird club-like appendage. Give me a nature check with advantage, because you live here.
Yes. Nature. Oh.
With advantage. Oh, ouch. 9.
Yes.
I'm gonna give it to you. Close enough.
It's a big turtle.
You don't know the actual name of it, but it is a shellback clubosaurus. For those of you
That's
at
a
home
big
who
boy.
don't know, it's an ankylosaurus, or was an ankylosaurus. And as you're examining it, you feel this cold tingling sensation running through your right hand, which is the one that is sitting on the haft of your weapon. One of the prayers is glowing, not the entire shaft, just a specific prayer. And I think just for RP just for RP's sake, I think we should actually write up some prayers so that you could say them if you'd like to.
I need to.
If you're down with that, I would absolutely.
No, I'm into
be
that.
cool with that.
I'm gonna sit and write some prayers at some point.
Nice.
Because I love that idea.
Okay.
So I can't think of any right now, but yeah.
So that one specific prayer lights up.
Okay, so she's gonna see the prayer on her scythe, and she's going to. I assume it's so big that she can kind of stand and touch it, or maybe
Oh
she.
yeah, no,
has
I
to
mean
kneel.
it's kind of collapsed and crumpled. Like it's now
Okay.
just a pile of bones with the shell. It's all blackened too.
It's like, this might work. And then she looks to the ground and finds what piece of it is maybe some fleshy part that's left.
Oh,
if
there's
there
no
is, even if
flesh. It's all
dried.
bone.
There's no flesh.
No
Okay, well then she's
flesh.
gonna grab some bone and kind of, since it's a part that maybe looks a bit more brittle, maybe it's cartilage or something, and kind of
It's actually
break it up a little
surprisingly
bit.
dense and strong. Doesn't feel
No
brittle at
way.
all. Yeah.
Okay. Well then she's going to take her scythe and kind of shave a bit of dust off of the bone
Yep, that
or
you
the
can
shell
easily
or
do.
something. Yeah. And then she's going to prick her finger and put a bit of blood onto the dust and kind of mix it around. And then she's going to hold her scythe and say the prayer. And she just has this feeling that maybe for this once, the tax man will allow her to animate this creature.
So in this case,
So.
it is rule of cool, and I'm calling that
Rule of cool.
because I think
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's like a moment of asking her deity for help.
Spend the 3rd level slot, spell
Okay.
slot, as you technically cast the spell. And I'll have to come up with something in moving forward in the future. And at first, nothing happens. As you read the prayer off of the half, every word as you read it extinguishes. As you read it, it's going out. Right? When you finish the final word, the sound, the ambient rumbling of the volcano goes away, and the world around you becomes utterly silent. And it starts off, you hear this like cracking sound. Sounds kind of like breaking rock and cracking knuckles at the same time. And the shell of this great creature shudders for a second, and you can see like some of the magma dust, the blackened stone, like a crust, kind of crumbles away from the shell a little bit, and a dull green glow starts to appear in the eye sockets of the half buried skull of this shell-backed clubosaurus or shell-backed clubtail, and the ground around it starts to kind of crack like an old dry riverbed, and slowly but surely the bones, they don't necessarily knit together, but they hold, they connect despite there not being any tendons or flesh or anything like that. And it slowly rises out of this makeshift grave where it had died, and it just comes to new life, and the head slowly turns to look at you and stops, as though in anticipation of something, that it's waiting for you. And then the sound slowly returns to your ears, the ambient rumbling of the angry volcano.
Yeah, Illyria is going to be a bit shaken for a second because she can't believe that it actually worked. But she's going to like hold her scythe and thank you. Thank you. I knew you would always. Thank you. And then she goes over and walks to the head of the beast and kind of puts her hand on it. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
It clearly
And,
does not emote or respond
Oh
in
yeah,
any
nothing.
way.
And then she turns to the group and goes, "We can ride my new friend here. We just have to come up with a name. What are
It
we
follows
thinking?"
you.
Yeah, as I walk back.
The heavy blackened bones creating cracks in the earth beneath it.
So,
Blimey.
Quite the
Well.
friend you've made.
it's our new
Literally.
ride.
I mean, we have to call them Michelle, right?
I think you're right.
Michelle.
I
Oh,
think it
I
has
was.
to be.
This is funny.
I apologize,
better
Miss
be.
Michelle.
That was pretty impressive, though. I've never seen
Yes,
anything like that.
generally I can't animate. Well, we don't need to talk about it. It was a blessing from the taxman, so that we can collect the lantern weed. So, Let's all hop on Michelle then.
Thank the taxman as well.
You will, in the end.
Mm.
So, while riding on this thing, you are basically afforded fire resistance. So the radiant effect of lava and magma, the superheated, area around it, which means if you are within, I think, 5 feet of magma, you take damage. Same with lava. You don't have to actually touch it. You still take damage just because of how hot it is. Well, this thing appears to be able to walk across the stuff. It's still not impervious necessarily, but while you're on it, you have fire resistance. So you're not going to take damage from the radiant heat of the magma. You still have to get off of this thing to collect the weeds. You still have to contend with the spores. But at least you have transportation that can get you across the magma fields.
Yeah, that's clutch.
So what are you doing? You all climbing aboard?
Yep, let's make our way.
Well, I know Edie was saying that she might have some issues with it, but
No, Edie just like gives it a little that. But I also have a ready action prepared for if shit happens. I'm just going to activate my boots. So,
peace out. I mean, you can fly anyway. I mean, you don't
but
have to
if I
ride
don't
on
have
this thing.
to,
I'm just
then
saying.
if I don't have to, then I won't.
Okay. Okay.
That's fair. And if any of us do fall over, but
So you all scramble up on the
spell.
shell. It thumps, once you're the last person's up there, it kind of thumps the ground with its skeletal club tail and then stands waiting. It's disconcertingly motionless.
Yeah, Illyria is at the front and she puts on her mask. She's like, all right, on aboard, and we're off. Set sail, dear Michelle, towards the lanternweed.
So the captain has given the order.
Oh.
And
Yes.
so this thing, as it moves, the way it moves, think of kind of like stop motion animation. So it is that kind of robotic, jerky movements as it lumbers forward, and you're all riding on top of it. You don't have a problem because the ridges on the shell of the creature are kind of like angled, so they almost have that like diamond shape. So you can kind of sit in between them, and you don't have to worry about falling off. Not to mention it's not exactly moving fast. So it begins to lumber across the magma fields, and you can hear that it's a little bit anxiety inducing as it approaches a lava flow, and the initial hiss as it steps into the lava flow and starts to cross it, and it wades across it, and you can feel the heat, but the shell is actually protecting you enough, and it climbs out of the flow, and you can't see the feet of the thing, but you can definitely smell something burning. So it starts to head north towards the mountain, and fairly soon you can see the telltale sign and glow of the lanternweed. And you can see that the lanternweed doesn't grow right next to the magma flows. There are patches of stone and rubble, magma rock, and very rich ash, which kind of creates a nutrient rich soil for these things to grow. So in between those areas of magma and lava, you can actually gather these weeds. So Michelle, kind of hating you for that, by the way. And puns. I can't get away from puns. What is up with you people? And it lumbers in, and you give it the command to stop. And it just stops very
Heave
suddenly.
to, Michelle.
And
Weigh the anchor. Stop the sails.
now, here's the thing. I need you to give me a survival check. And
Who?
since just Illyria, because she's in charge. Captain's in charge of the ship here and is out
Right.
front. Good. This is one of those ones you kind of didn't really want to fail. Because
Yeah.
you suddenly realize as this thing is rumbling towards these plants that you might not want to let Michelle get too close to them. Considering it didn't take a whole lot, but you guys
Yeah.
falling into the patch to cause it to
Yeah.
give off spores. And I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to be tripping balls in a magma field, a lava field, a really dangerous area.
Yeah, I'm gonna command Michelle to stop a little farther away.
Okay. You realize that is the case. It doesn't take you, the rest of you, long to realize, oh yeah, we should probably stop the bus here, get out and maybe tiptoe up to these plants. So I am actually going to need either survival checks or stealth checks because you can, just to go by how gingerly you are stepping up. So either survival or stealth to make
From
the
everyone?
approach. Yes. Ooh,
Oz.
Azalea.
Mhm.
Boom.
Fi-
Tiptoeing through the
child.
tulips.
It's pretty good.
Uh-oh. Bum, bum,
I got-
bum.
That's
I got a
good.
7, but like I said when I stepped on, I do have a ready action for my boots.
Well, you failed, but I will allow the boots to spare you. However,
I
what-
will
what
take
else
some
did we get?
damage.
What else did we get? Charlotte, you got a 21. Isaiah, 22. Illyria, natural 1. And what about Alithia?
Roll the natural one.
No way!
No!
We
Yes.
both rolled nat ones.
Y'all.
Oh, shit.
Y'all.
Oh, shit. Okay.
3 of us are liabilities. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
This half of the screen.
so this is another saving throw. And it is what did I say? This was an intelligence saving throw, I believe.
Yeah. Is this everyone now?
No.
Or just the people that failed?
Just the people who
Mhm.
failed. You trigger a
Just
plant
the
near you.
hookups.
This
You
isn't
guys
quite a
can add a
field.
+1.
So this isn't quite a field. Not like the last one that you went into.
What'd you say? Intelligence check or save?
Save.
Add a +1.
Really? Did it affect the same 3 fucking people?
Go
I don't know. I rolled pretty good. I rolled a 17.
Okay. So, Illyria, you do not. You can feel, you get a little bit dizzy, but you're like, no, you're okay. And you don't suddenly see your crew again. Edie, you got a 15. You two are fine. Is that a 6?
I rolled a 4 again, so
Oh.
this dice is going to dice jail.
Okay.
Girl's
So-
gonna get punished with some memories. Oh man.
Poor thing.
So if you pass your check, you can continue to gather. If you didn't, didn't fail your approach check, you can give me survival checks. So in this case, it's individual because these are spread out. So give me survival checks. Don't fail it by more than 5.
Who's this?
From all
I'm
for
going to
who?
need this from Illyria, Edie, Azalea, and Charlotte.
I'm gonna invoke the blessing of the moon. Oh.
Oh no! Oh
So
no,
Charlotte,
Shark!
did you end up with a
Shark.
5?
I rolled a natural 2, and then I re-rolled
Yeah.
and
So,
rolled a natural 1.
all right.
Oh, sorry.
Do you have
Wow.
to accept the you have to accept the new roll, right?
Let's have a look.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
no,
you
I don't.
do.
No, it says you choose which of the d20s is used for the attack
Okay,
roll ability.
so
check or save.
you still failed by more than 5
Oh,
with 3.
But it's not on
Yeah.
that one. So
it's very
So
true.
either way, you failed. So I'm gonna need you to also make an intelligence saving throw.
If
okay,
you're
those
near
are
me, add a +1.
Charlotte.
that would be a 13, but it's a separate roll, so I can do the moon again, and I will do the moon again and re-roll that.
Natural 20.
Ooh,
Hey, there
Wow.
we go.
boy.
Okay, so you start to feel the effects. Okay, you can start to feel your mind drifting away from you as the cloud of spores hits you in the face. You do still manage to actually collect a pod. Actually, you don't, because you failed by more than 5. No, you ruptured the pod, which is how you triggered it.
But
Azalea,
yeah.
you collected one. Illyria, you collected one. And so does Edie. You collected one.
So 3.
Yeah, so far.
Mm.
Now, let's get to the fun part, shall we?
Yes. I was hoping Charlotte would be in on this, but it wasn't to be.
The hellscape around you returns. You're leaning over this plant and you start to gather it, and you don't really remember or sense it taking effect. You don't remember the spores erupting from the plant. You're just looking, and you hear this like horrendous I guess you could say like a kind of a demonic cry not too far from you. Let's see. Sounds like and you look up, and there is this creature standing on what looks like a piece of obsidian, a large a jutting chunk of obsidian that is like poking up from the center of a pile of bones. Hundreds of bodies are stacked around here. It is standing there. It has skin, but it's drawn so tightly over its form that it looks pretty much skeletal. The skin itself is transparent enough that you are looking at bone. But while humanoid, it is definitely not human. It's not elf. It's not even tiefling. It is knobby and this humanoid skull. It's got a ridge of small horns that wreath the top of its head like a crown. And from its back, from its very, very backside, a tail extends, that curls back and forward again and forms the shape of a barbed hook, very much like a scorpion's tail. And it's perched there, hunching like a gargoyle, staring down at you, and as it like hisses. And it says something in a very guttural language. And it calls to you to join its ranks. Your family is already here, it whispers. We have your parents. They serve us proudly. Why then won't you step forward and join the ranks? Fight the war for the fallen angel. Stand against the tide of the abyss. I'm going to say that because of the delay, that Alithia is frozen in place, staring at this thing.
Talk to me, like, can you explain, like, the kind of situation right now? So she's on, like, a little island by herself picking these flowers? Like, what's the...
So you're kind of in a field, like an area. I don't want to call it a field. It is a wider area that is not immediately covered, like there's not broken lava flows or anything like that. You're in an area that is conducive to grow the lanternweed. In a radius, I'd say it's probably about 65 feet across, round radius. That's when it turns back into lava fields.
But we're on this
You're in
grassy
this area.
field with
You're a bit spread out, but you are in that area.
Okay.
Which the Ankylosaurus is at one end of.
Okay. And you giving us a chance to do something?
I'm going to say yes, because Veerle, you were frozen. You didn't know how to respond. I'm going to say that would translate over to Alithia.
Mm-hmm.
I would say,
Yeah.
Alithia, you bent down to get the plant, and then you just kind of looked up, and you're just staring. You're like kind of frozen in place. Would you agree?
Yeah. At the mention of her parents, she would just kind of freeze up.
Okay.
And in between, like, where we are and where she is there more of these plants?
Some, yes.
So we've got to be careful if we want to try and get to her, basically.
You do indeed. But you need to notice that because she's not doing anything. She's not doing anything to the point where it looks odd, but it's something that you would have to notice.
Mm.
You see what I mean? She just stopped moving.
Mm.
And you're kind of busy doing your own thing and resisting getting hit by the spores.
Okay, well, we'll play into that. So the spores go in Charlotte's face and she resists it. Oh, I had a little bit of an accident, guys. I'm okay. I'm okay. Is everyone else okay? And she'll
Yes.
look round.
I had a little bit go in my face too, but I can shake it off a bit. I think I'm fine. Everyone else?
By the
Oh,
way,
you
while
guys-
you don't necessarily know this in-game, if you actually save against the spores, you are immune to its effects for 24 hours.
Oh,
Ooh, wonderful.
Well, I did in the first encounter.
Well, again, this has probably been over
What's a
24
new
hours.
24
Yeah,
hours?
it's a new 24
Okay,
hours.
You've been
gotcha.
traveling
Yeah.
next morning, and you're
Few
traveling.
days, yeah.
So you're probably at the point where because that didn't happen at night. That happened
Mm-hmm.
in the
During
afternoon.
the day. And we waited.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, she would check for a response from everyone, and then guessing she doesn't get one from Ellie.
Correct. Ellie's not here right now, but if you'd like to leave a message at the screen, she'll get back to you as soon as she defeats whatever demons she's currently fighting.
The inner demons have taken over. Please leave a message.
That doesn't look good, guys. And she'll point in Ellie's direction. Ellie? No, she's not responding. We need to get over there.
Walk over and like go like this in front of her face.
Lithia, what are you doing in the face of this bony devil?
Yeah, she probably has like a tight grip on her weapon right now.
So while you guys are there outside in the real world, you see she like reaches up very purposefully and pulls the weapon off of her back. And slowly, I'm taking it the way that you just did it just now.
Yeah.
Can I give her guidance in a way? If there needs to be like a check in the future, I know, I don't know if I could like whisper guidance in her ear. Because I understand that she's
It's an odd thing because
charmed.
whatever skill checks she'd be making in the dream aren't really manifesting. They're not real.
Mhm.
So your guidance isn't really going to do anything
Okay,
in this
then never
case.
mind.
So yeah, you might help her attack whatever it is in a way.
But it's not like okay.
But there are ways to clear out this stuff through magic.
Illyria's gonna try and get the if there's any residual spores. Just try use druidcraft to like do a little tiny spurt of wind.
It does. It does disperses like in front of your little puffs of, this,
Her hair's like
of the spores.
I don't know.
But for those of you who
Druidcraft.
might have access to it, minor restoration will do that. Clear it.
I think the lady has that, but
Yeah.
she's kind of here, not here.
Lady decided not to come because her feathers. She's off at the
Singed. She doesn't want to become a roast owl.
yeah.
Oh.
She's waiting for us.
And unfortunately, I can't play her character for her.
Yeah.
So.
Of course.
Do you have it? Do you have minor restoration?
Lesser restoration.
I mean, yeah, lesser restoration. Okay. Yes, lesser restoration cures this. Pulls you out of the
Okay, well, if we can't do anything about it, we just make sure she doesn't stumble into the lava, but she looks like she's drawing her weapon, so...
I mean,
Stands
there
to
is
Toril.
something I could try, but it is not in the direction of like a Miss Lady thing. It would be more of a send like a sliver of lightning into her mind, see if it could jolt her out of it. It could hurt her, but I mean, if we wanted to get her out of here, or we could just
Well, we
roll
could just
with it.
wait.
kickstart the brain. Interesting.
Maybe we shouldn't put a spike into her brain. If we just wait, she'll come
No,
out of it soon.
not a spike. I'm sure if we have to fight again, I'll show it to you sometime.
Oh, okay. So it's not going to hurt, or
It's not a literal spike. You made it sound like it was a metal spike. It is psychic. It's not actual. It's like
psychic stuff hurts too.
Lithia.
that's why I was like, maybe we could, but no, we're not going to do that.
Lithia. The creature that's crouched before you, it's a large creature, by the way, begins chanting. And when it does, two forms rise out of the bones.
Our parents, y'all.
And the forms are familiar to you, but you can't see the face. The face is completely out of focus on both of these forms. Like they're just not there. But you instinctively you realize that those must be your parents. And the devil reaches down and you can see it begins to sink its claws into the flesh of these two bodies. And it hisses once again and says, and tells you that in its tongue how faithful they are and how much they have, how well they have served the Queen of Air and Fire.
I will bonus action Thunderous Smite and attack it.
Okay, that's where we're going to leave it for this week. Because this is definitely going to be kind of an explosive action that could be a surprise to the people who are trying to currently pull Ilithia out of this fugue state. So
I did say to stand back, to be fair. Let's make that clear.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We can establish where everyone is at the beginning of. I'm not going to put not everyone in harm's way, just the people who are standing closest to her, and then we're going to take it from there. So we're going to pick this up next Saturday. So if you want to find out whether or not Ilithia murders the rest of her friends, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and find out. But this was an interesting one. Twice in a row for Ilithia. However, this is, I think, going to prove kind of useful for Ilithia because you're kind of tapping into parts of you that you have forgotten. You're getting that sense of familiarity, though you don't know whether or not it is, there's any truth to it. You are definitely feeling that deja vu. You're touching on some kind of a memory. So this might be something to look into further. I can see you collecting some of this, like these weeds for yourself, but we'll take that and we'll hit that when the time comes. But in the meantime, we're just gonna leave it at the Thunderous Smite action for next game. So stay tuned, people. If you want to see what happens, make sure you come back to us next Saturday, and we'll pick it up. But if you want more D&D between then and now, tune in on Monday nights for the Weight of Tears. All kinds of shenanigans that happens on that one, including breaking of the fourth wall. So yeah, make sure you tune in. That's from 7 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on this channel. And I think that's it. I just have D&D's nuts. D&D's nuts. That's my wife, everyone. Everyone, my wife.
We love her.
D&D mom.
D&D's nuts. And what was I going to say? I got D's-railed by D's nuts. My train of thought. But yeah, so Monday nights 7 to 11, the Weight of Tears again, and then Friday nights is 7 to 11 is the Pirates of the Glass Sea. And that was all kinds of wonderful drama last Friday. Woo, was that one lit.
More incoming.
Yes. So yeah, check out all my games are amazing. My fucking casts are like AAA plus super classy. So yeah, stay tuned. In the meantime, do the thing, join the Discord, become part of the community there, because there's all kinds of cool stuff that happens there, including contests where I give away prizes. Next month is my birthday month. As far as I know, I'm supposed to actually claim the entire month. That's the thing now. So by the end of the month is my birthday, and I'll be doing a special stream for that. Do a charity stream. So I'll keep posted. Keep your eyes on the Discord. See, join the Discord so you can find out more about that. And I'll post the details for that when I know more. But before we go, let's give everyone a chance to shout themselves out, because we have other content creators who like to create content. So let's find out what content these content creators are creating, shall we? We'll start with Edie, because you're top left. I don't know why. I just go counterclockwise.
It's all right. I am Raging Babe Rights. I am Edie today from the Chaos Crew. I'm also on Fridays with Roll Positive Gaming. Bryn over on Pirates of the Glass Sea. And now we are also Miriam on Sundays, not tomorrow, next Sunday, with For Shame Not Honors campaign. And let's see, I'm over on my own channel, Raging Babe Writes. My Instagram's the same. And Wednesdays we do writing work blocks. And Thursday we are hoping to break down the weekend of D&D that happens every week. So,
And oh, what a weekend it was.
oh, what a weekend it was! So this will be an interesting one. That is for sure.
For show. All right. So that takes us to Alithia. I know you may not necessarily create content, but on this channel you are a content creator. So tell everyone where they can find you the rest of the places.
Hi, I'm Veerle. I have an Instagram. It's Veerle.Louise.
There it is.
Me. And I don't
There it
always
is, right there.
hurt my party, but we could spin a theme.
Yeah, that's a way to introduce yourself. Murder them all. Technically, is it your fault though? Don't know. We'll just have to wait and find out next week.
Technically.
And that takes us to Azalea,
Hello.
the Storm Child.
Yes. Hello, I'm Caitlin. I play Azalea Nightwind here in this super fun, awesome Strixhaven campaign. You can find me over on YouTube, and you can find me here on Twitch. I make ASMR content, and my links are YouTube/ASMR Kitten, and here is twitch.tv/Caitlin.
Do the thing. She makes really good content. She's put me to sleep before. It's exceptionally relaxing and boring, and that's exactly what I need when I'm trying to sleep. That takes us now to Amy K.
I'm Amy K. ASMR. I make ASMR roleplay videos on YouTube. And I'm also on Instagram and Twitter. Also Amy K. ASMR.
All of the relaxed, so relaxed. This is like
All
quite,
of the relax.
this is like such a zen cast. It's just we're all like at peace.
We're so zen.
And we're gonna go and take it now down to Sammy the Shammy, aka the Love Guru,
The man, the one and only,
the
I was doing
instigator.
The pot stirrer.
I'd have to just pour one out for Riley Rose while she's not here.
That is true, because Riley, you commented, "Oh, you have nice eyes." I guarantee you, at some point in time, Riley would be like, "You should go and talk to her," and she does this thing, and they're like, So yeah,
I love
get
how I
ready
just
for
made
that.
like a genuine just comment, and then it turned into.
She loves.
I love that about it. You guys.
She
That's
lives
so
for
cute.
it. She lives for it. She looks for it. She's like, "Why don't you just kind of like go say hello and just hang out?"
Oh
and
my
do the thing?"
gosh, I love that.
Yeah, but I noticed that and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make that something. I was like, yeah, you're not getting away with that one. You're not getting. Anyway, yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Sammy by the Gram, and you can find me on Twitter at Sammy on the Bird. But you can also find today's stream and every other stream that we've done over on YouTube, where it is the VOD, but it's broken down, it's edited, it's polished up a little bit. So if you want to catch up, maybe you've only caught half the stream today, that's definitely the place to go and do it. So that'd be great if you check that out and subscribe. Thank you.
Yes. And then there's me. Last but not least, I am a Matt. I am Roll Positive Gaming. I make all kinds of D&D content. I love D&D. I love the people I play D&D with, and I love telling stories with these people. I love tormenting them somewhat. It's a little... This is the small things. I like watching them squirm, because they squirm in the best ways. And then they usually like say, "Thank you, that was awesome. Please do that more." So, it's a win-win situation. But yeah, so it's just me. I make D&D content. I love hanging out with all you people. I love the community that I have. You've all been so supportive, and you've helped me grow my channel, and it keeps growing like day by day. And you helped me crush my sub goal today, so that's awesome. You know, everything that I earn with this channel goes back into the channel. I'm trying to make it better. So I have some other shows that might be coming up. Well, Werewolf 5th edition will be coming out in August, so maybe sometime in October I am going to start a game for that. That's probably going to be offline because it's a little risque when you're dealing with the world of darkness, but it'll end up as a show on YouTube. So we'll make some VODs and we'll throw it up there. But other than that, like I said, join the Discord, follow my socials. All of the new things that I'll be doing, getting involved with, are going to be announced there.